to Blackpool. And a great day of pool so far. Real contrast of matches, a couple of very quick ones, a much slower one to start with. Here's the one that everyone's really been looking forward to in the team section though, England against Australia. Could so easily have been the final another year, but two of the best teams in the competition and two of the most supported ones. Very pleased to be joined by Mick Delahunty, proud Australians. I think we can probably tell where your allegiances lie in this match.
Yeah, look, I'll try to be impartial, not. No, I'm certainly barracking for Australia, but should be a great match. Should be a great match.
So you were the captain, I think I'm right in saying, the last Australian team to win over here in '96.
Yeah, a long time ago it was, so it's 20 years later. I'd love to see it happen again.
I'm sure you'd be happy to lose that record.
Yeah, no, I'd like to be joined anyway. Yeah, no, it's a good group of Australian guys. They're good people and they play real well. So we'll give them a run. It'll be fun.
Not just patriotic, but also your son is leading us off in the action, up first for Australia.
Yeah, well, that one's a bit... yeah, I'll be a bit nerve-wracked, be a bit nervous over that one, but I know he's a good player and he'll do his best, so what will be, will be.
Let me brag on your behalf, as I'm sure you're too modest to say, but your son was top of the averages. James Delahunty was something like 80%, which is not only top of the averages, but I mean, that's an extraordinary record. Given at this standard, you're going to have a few matches where you get dished on or you don't get a chance.
Yeah, he's just very focused, practice as hard as anybody I've ever seen. Will say he's married with a kid, but works hard, does all those things, but still finds time to put the time in, which is what you've got to do to be good enough.
And one of the best Australian teams, you were saying, you think because obviously the difficulty is you've got to get everyone over here, so that it's not just the selection but also the logistics. But it's all come together well this year.
Yeah, that's the hard part, Mark. Sending your best side over every year, you can make an Australian side and you come over with expectations. You don't do well, and then you make it next year, and you think, gee, can I afford to spend the $3,500 to $4,000 plus spending money?
It's a tough gig.
A couple of £1,000 a year. Which you probably you sit in the background.
Should spend on something. Let me stop you there because all the teams are ready to come into the arena. Let's get over and welcome them in.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. May I first introduce to you your match referee from Malta, Sasha Gauci. Good luck, Jeff. Good luck, mate. And your timekeeper from England, Claire Watts. Could you please put your hands together for the President of the WEPF from Australia, Joe Fanto.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Imperial Hotel here in Blackpool, England. It's my pleasure to introduce the teams tonight for the second semi-final. Ladies and gentlemen, could you please be upstanding? The first team to walk into the arena to do battle this evening. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for Australia! Opponents. They need no introduction to these finals. Ladies and gentlemen, the host nation, England! ask the two nations to take part in the customary handshake.
Good luck, son. Good luck, Ben. Yeah. Good luck, Chris. Good luck, Adrian. Good luck, Mike. Good luck, Carl.
Come on, ladies and gentlemen, big round of applause. Wish these two teams the very best of luck.
You can do if you want. Good luck, Adrian.
Time and time again, England have come into this as the strong favourites, but this isn't going to be easy at all tonight. Australia, always a strong team, but come with some of the best players we've ever seen this year. Mick, as these two step up, James Delahunty and taking on tomorrow's finalist Carl Sutton in the individual tournament. How do you see it playing out?
Look, I think it's just the run of the balls. It's a very, very short race. Right? It's race to 8. This is over in an hour. It's it's a bit of a raffle, I think. As I was saying, it costs a lot of money, but for some reason or other this year, we seem to have bought. There's maybe one player missing, Benny Noonan, who didn't play well enough at our nationals to make the side, so there's nothing wrong with him not being here. But if I was picking my best Australian side, he's the only one that wouldn't be in it. So this is just the only one we could add to it.
Yeah.
This is a sensational side, and they'll give them a run, and it should be a great match. Yes. Carl to break straight off. Charles will be happy about that.
Brimful of confidence, Carl Sutton. Great win earlier, 9-7 over 10-8 even over Phil Harrison to get through to tomorrow's final. Exciting times for him, his first World Championship final. I mean, this would be a great achievement for Australia if they could make this final. They've come a long way to get here against the local favourites who turn up year after year, so rarely fail to make the final, and very rarely fail even to win it.
And look, that's the point, Mark. You play in England, who are just fantastic and got so many players, but under their own conditions, in their own country, it's a hard task to be able to beat them. It's just would be a fantastic thing. It's a pretty easy. Sorry, it's a pretty basic clearance, but needless to say, there's an enormous amount of pressure.
Yeah, and especially the first frame.
Yeah.
We talk about in singles, you're not settling until you've got the first frame, but it's even harder in team pool play.
He's potted both balls there. I think that's a really, just as long as he's got an angle to get back down here, that's not a bad thing.
No, if that's, as it happens, that's worked out pretty well. So
I think he probably played to pot both balls. It's just easier. Then he didn't have to put the one over the hole to get back again. He's got a good angle here. It'll just come down middle of the table, maybe the left-hand side if he's got the right angle. I'd like to have gone a little bit further, but it's not bad.
As we checked when Carl Sutton was playing earlier, he had a lot of good breaks, but just didn't pot anything off them, and he's done the same thing again. He's split them up really nicely, but not
Well, he
possible.
went it off this time.
Yeah.
Yeah. James would have liked to have gone a little bit further there, but should still be fine. Does an awful lot of practice on the snooker table. It's a basic shot for him. He just wants to make sure of position.
Yeah, as you say, the length of the match is challenging. Obviously, inevitably, when you've got it in front of a crowd like this, you can't play too long a match. But
No.
the best of 15 in a team, particularly given that the England team has 10 players in, so they're not all even going to get a run out here.
Excuse me while I take a deep breath.
I think we'll forgive you being partisan as your son leads from the front.
It's a fantastic shot. He's just got a little bit of angle here. I think he'd just be able to float up to for the black in the middle.
Looking very assured so far. He's taking these very steadily indeed.
And like I said, to be fair, they weren't hard, but just the team pressure thing is very, very hard.
Perfectly judged shot, and there's a straight black in the middle. Proud father next to me, his son James Delahunty takes the first frame for Australia. You can see what it means to all of them. Good team spirit there, and understandably, if you've travelled all this way together, you're bound to be a fairly cohesive team unit.
The point of, as I was saying about this side, is it's also a group of young, mid to 20s to early 30s, and who've grown each other up with each other in junior titles around Australia for the last 15 years or so. And they're all pretty good mates. They come from different states, and as you know, Australia's a big place. But they're very, very good mates, most of them. You know, as I'm sure the English guys are. They've grown up together. All similar. They all look like a very young England side, actually. Besides Lee, of course.
Yes, I mean,
I shouldn't say that. The first time we encountered England was in 1992. They sent a side out to Australia, and we were just about to have our national titles in Perth. And Lee was in that side. So I've known him for 24 or 25 years.
He's been England captain for pretty much 25 years and played for the team for even longer.
Queuing legend and a queuing genius. He's absolute thoroughbred as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, and I mean, the consistency it's so hard to not only maintain the standard, but the focus and the enthusiasm for keeping on playing.
Yeah, he's a legend. You talked about the stats. James had a great tournament and topped them, but the next two on the stats were both Australians. Okay, so we're the number 1, 2 and 3 players.
Yeah, and I mean, that's no mean feat.
Yeah, Steve Woods, who's about to play, and Justin Sage, who is coming in at number 4, I think.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
They were second and third on the stats.
So Steve Woods that you mentioned is breaking off for Australia.
Red ball at the top corner. White ball in the middle of the table.
That looks pretty good.
It does, doesn't it? 2, 4, 6, 7. So he's potted just the red. Could go either.
Yeah, something to be said for both. The Reds are in marginally more open positions, but
yeah.
the Yellows have their merits too. Reds it is then.
Back to the middle of the table. Give yourself options. Just kiss that first yellow, which is a very bad shot right from the start, I think.
Yeah, well, if you can't see the left hand of these Reds to the middle, that is a very bad shot. I mean, it was careless to catch. And slightly surprising. I mean, it's not like it wasn't obvious that yellow was there. Judge, I don't know,
it looked like he could hit skinny enough just to miss the kiss on the yellow, but obviously didn't take enough time. Doesn't look like he's got enough here, but he obviously has. He's looking at playing the red onto the red, the two reds in the middle of the table. And yes, you can look from that angle, and he certainly has got just enough. So here we go, red onto the red, into the centre pocket.
Oh, good shot.
A very, very common kiss on that yellow.
That's turned out pretty nice.
There's a few ways he can pot this and put it back at the red near the black back into the middle. He can go right-hand side and go up the inside and put it back over the other corner.
I think against this England team, getting off to a good start is absolutely imperative. They're just so strong that if you start giving them opportunities early on, you're 3-0 down before you know what's happened. So this is so far the textbook start for Australia.
Yeah, I was talking to the boys earlier, and they were talking about it. They were saying how important it was just to get off to a good start. Just a little bit short again, Mark.
Yeah, I think people are just a little bit scared of this table. It's quite slippery. We've seen a few people massively overhit things, but to compensate, some people are getting a little bit tentative.
Well, he's going to have to cut this back into the corner, losing the white.
Yeah, this is the kind of position he's kind of committed to this clearance. There's no safety shot. He's just got to carry on with it.
His whites, where's his white going?
Can he hold it on that yellow? Does that help? It's still going to be flying around there.
It's going to be flying around. I think he's just got to get a little bit of luck. Missed the pot. Would have been fine if he'd potted it. But he didn't. That's a pretty silly thing to say.
A key detail. Now, this is a new face for England. It's not very often that we see unfamiliar players such as the strength in depth that we're already familiar with, but Mike King qualified at the trials in March, his first World Championships for England. I think we can, even without knowing much about him, surmise that he's likely to be a very good player because he's somehow managed to qualify for this illustrious team.
Yes, I've been playing against them for any part of 26 years, and the worst of them are world champions.
Absolutely. I mean, it's a ridiculous team to get into. It's not. You could be the best by a mile in your locality and still nowhere near qualifying.
Yeah.
Impressive pedigree. I'm being told that Mike King beat John Rowe, the 2012 world champion, in the final round of trials to qualify for this England team. So that tells you how good he
I
is.
think it backs up what I just said, wasn't it? You have to be the worst player
You
in
have
the
to be
team's
better than the world champions.
Correct.
Well, and conversely, being a world champion, you're still not good enough to get in.
Good enough to get in. Well, that's the good thing about the Australian side. Benny Noonan's been a semi-final and a quarter-final of the world titles, and he's not here, so that speaks volumes of the Australian side.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he's one of the most recognisable Australians. We've
Yeah.
obviously had the pleasure of his company a few times over here.
Mike seems to be doing this reasonably comfortably.
Yeah, it's making it look quite simple. It's not overcomplicated this. I think that's the thing. It's not just qualifying for this England team, but because everyone's so good, it's hard to feel really, really confident because you know you're up against all these great players that are looking. I mean,
You're under pressure every time you play a shot.
When you watch Lee Kendall look on there and you're thinking, what would he do here? Am I doing the right thing?
Yeah, it's very well played.
No, he's taking these really well. I mean, it wasn't the most difficult clearance, but what
No.
can you do bar take the balls from where they are?
Correct. And you never ever been able to-
Very solid indeed from Mike King, levels it up, one frame more. That's going to be a good quality final if it carries on like that. One mistake, punished immediately.
Yeah. And off the break the first one, one miss in the second.
So Michael Hope for England to break in the next frame. Number 14 in the singles, so that tells you what a good player he is. Normally got a big break, Michael, so he'll be looking to put that to good use here.
Playing Jake McCartney. Jake's been one of the top 2 or 3 players in the country for the last 4 or 5 years. I played with his father, would you believe, for Victoria, back in the late 89, late 80s.
He was a child back then.
Yeah, it was. His father had, used to call him Cousin It, had very, very long hair.
Well,
For those of you who are old enough to remember the Addams Family, of course. Do you think he tried to knock those out? To kiss those?
well, it felt, I don't know, something looked slightly unusual about the way he played that. It
Yeah.
seemed quite...
They go up the top corner, but if he just nudged one of them, they'd be on the middle now. And he wouldn't have to go back up there. Not that it's that hard. I think he's probably pretty comfortable here.
He's a pretty good long putter. He's one of those guys that
Yeah.
doesn't mind leaving a tricky shot.
No.
In fact, if it
Playing
goes
down
in
the bottom
middle,
now. Well, he's playing down the bottom off the red, or inside the red.
careless, and obviously there wasn't a lot of room to work with.
Seemed like a strange shot. I just thought he played the one in the middle, work his way down. Those two went back up the top. I think he did try to move it that first shot.
Yeah, well, that would suggest he had, because
Yeah.
you can't believe he played it, and he didn't. It wasn't like the red was obstructing the black enough that he needed to open that pocket up. Really.
Yeah. So this is, like I said, this Jake McCartney, in line with his father's name of Cousin Ed, he was called the Head because he used to have, he's actually had a bit of a haircut in recent times, but he used to have this massive blob of hair on his head, and they used to call him the Head. So I think hair nicknames would go and run in the family. But he's a massive player, great player. Nice cut in the middle pocket to start. Kiss on the black.
Well,
It's not bad.
it's not terrible, but it's not perfect.
No, he's got the ball in the middle. Sorry, over the bottom left-hand hole there. Just
In
under the
fact,
ball.
if this red that he's lining up now does still pop past the black, which I think it does, this
Yeah.
isn't too bad.
funny, he seems to take his time, but just be very methodical about things and tends to get them more often than not. So I'd be surprised if he doesn't finish the game here. It doesn't look that easy, but he's just very good at it.
Yeah, that's a well thought through positional shot.
Very good shot.
He's gone through a tiny gap and he's somehow had a choice of all four of these, right?
Yeah. He can take the difficult one up the top now.
Yeah, the one at the top's a little bit orphaned from everything else, so it makes sense to get it out of the way.
Yeah. Like you said, he doesn't seem to be doing much, but he just methodically goes around the table and doesn't miss much.
Those are always the best players, the ones that look like they're not doing anything difficult.
Yeah.
The ones that are constantly smashing them in off the lights, it's often because they've slipped out of position.
Michael's there hoping for another shot, as we all do when we're sitting there.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, I think he'd be a bit annoyed with the way that went. Having potted one off the break, he'd have liked to get a bit further through the clearance than he did.
Well, they looked pretty good, didn't they? Like I said, he just doesn't seem to overhit too much.
No, he hardly touched that.
And he's
screws
still
back
gone
to
too
exactly
far.
where he wants.
Yeah, well, he's probably all right. He'd come back off the one near the black and put the other red over the other side. It's obviously on, Mark, because you went straight down to have a look at it. Black's nodding away.
Yeah, I like the pace. It doesn't feel like he's playing slowly, but it looks like he's giving everything proper consideration. Decided to go that way around. And actually, that was a good shot, because we've seen quite a few people try to check balls up off the cushion and make a real mess of it.
Yeah, it
Completely
slid off
lose
the
the
cushion. Yeah, he just gets through the ball very well. He doesn't, like I said, he doesn't seem to overhit it.
Although this isn't an absolute formality. He's going to be a bit careful how he contacts the black after hitting the red.
Yeah, look, I think that's reasonable. I think it's whether or not it's on.
This is a bit tricky, because even if he's trying to help the pot with a bit of side, well, from that angle, that doesn't...
Yeah, it looks... Yeah, I think it's pretty comfortable. I think just a little stun, you put the black in the same hole. It was whether it was on or not was the key. Has he fluked it? No, he hasn't.
Second chance for Michael Hope that he probably didn't expect to have by the end of that frame.
I think maybe just the red wasn't... He didn't think it was on.
Yeah, well, it looked mighty tight when we saw it from behind it, and I think he was mindful of what he was doing with the black. He didn't just want to... If he plays it slower, he could turn it over with a bit of side, but then he's got no position on the black.
Well, that's not a good finish for Australia. You don't win many games when the other guy's got 5 or 6 balls on the table and you've got one.
No, this is not a good position at all.
No. You can choose to... You've got a lot of options when you've got this many balls. You can play safety or you can choose to have a go at them. If he gets on the one in the middle there, he can just play that softly and push the red onto the cushion and free shot up the one on the one up the rail. Looking to play a snooker, maybe.
And I think we talked earlier about it being a team shot. I think in a singles match he probably doesn't do that, but he knows the importance of it.
Look, you're playing best of one frame, not the best of, as we saw in the finals, best of 19. If you lose a frame, you're not happy about it, but you rack them up and play another one.
Yeah, absolutely.
You lose another one, you lose your frame here, the world's ending.
Yeah.
Not quite, but you understand what I mean.
Well, I mean, almost literally in this England team, you could be dropped for the next session because they've got to
yeah.
find space for somebody, and that's the end of your final.
Yeah. Might be the last time you play for England ever.
I mean, they've got Gavin Lomax and Dave Fernandez on the bench who have been veterans of a couple of World Championships already.
Nothing easy for Jake. If the yellow's not there, you can come off 2 cushions, but assuming the yellow's in the way, this is not good.
No, I mean, what does he do that doesn't leave a yellow on? Well, that's the worst possible combination of events.
Yeah. It's a little bit of suicide.
But I mean, to be fair, if he doesn't flick the ball, I think he probably loses the frame anyway. So
Yeah.
It's not like there was any kind of containing shot.
No,
there.
there wasn't anything.
Nice to see so many Australians here. You've got everybody's turned out in the national dress.
Yeah. I think it's about 45 of us.
Yeah, I mean, that's a fair old party to come over.
Yeah. Keep the 2 shots, you'll probably pop the ball over the hole now, I'd say.
Yeah, I mean, the only one that's halfway difficult is the one over on the right-hand side. And it's certainly not difficult when you've got the benefit of the 2 shots. Plenty of choice here. He just needs to end up in an area where he's on these 2 on the right-hand side.
I mean, it's not difficult. He would have loved to have finished with this one. Straight shot on this one he's about to play last. So he could just roll the black down.
Yes.
But with 2 shots, it's still not. It's a good shot.
Well, he's not going to miss this anyway, but
No, a little stun
even
down.
over the hole is fine.
Yeah. Come back an inch or 2 and it's a gentle run through on the last yellow over onto the cushion for the black.
He'd be glad to have got this chance though. It looked for all the world like he had it.
Yeah.
You wonder if maybe he should have taken those reds in the other order at the end. You could see he was in 2 minds. He thought this way offered better position, but then ended up not being on the final one quite.
Well, if the red wasn't on, he certainly should have done something a
Yes.
bit earlier, shouldn't he?
Well, I'm sure it was on from where he was when he played the previous show. And the luxury of the 2 shots there, Michael Hope can get down again and knock this one in. Ahead for the first time. Take that frame, now he's by 2 frames to 1. Well, no cause for too much disappointment yet, but a couple of frames that Australia could have sneaked there, the last 2.
Could certainly have had their opportunities to be 3-love up. And fair play, Michael probably had first opportunity there and didn't take it. But we've had our chances in both frames, so, to be 2-1 down is a fraction disappointing, that's for sure.
So it's the next couple, like we saw in the previous match, where India looked to be well up and then they just let Ireland back into it. It's often what you do in the middle of the match. There's the last few frames before the mid-session interval, you just want to try and
Short
press
race.
home in here. Yeah, very short race. So, the man with all the experience for England to take his seat, Lee Kendall. And Justin Sayach for Australia will be breaking off.
Young Justin, something like 11 Australian singles titles before the age of 18, including an Australian Open singles. Amazing record.
Yeah, I mean, when you see these juniors are just so fearless as well. The
Yeah.
quality and the lack of any inhibition. Where's that white guy?
From Western Australia, he won 3 under 12s, 3 under 15s, and 2 under 18s. He didn't play one because of year 12 exams. Won an Australian Open and Australian under 21s by the time he was 17.
So it's a good resume.
Been playing pool for a long time. He's only about 26, maybe a little bit older, 27, 28. But he's been playing pool for a long time.
This slightly poor cue ball off the break, but may actually turn out not to be such a bad thing. It's at least
Yeah, well, he's on the... Depends on the kiss. He's going to kiss that black, I would suggest. Oh, he's missed it. Opened up the only bad red.
Yeah, even the poor cue ball was no good, at least now in prime position on these reds. He was an absolute machine at this stage, Lee Kendall. Year after year, he just turns up when the pressure requires him to. He just clears up.
He just handles the pressure better as well as anybody, doesn't he? And that's the key to it in the end.
I mean, you can't really expect him to be nervous, having been here this many times, but even so, it's still... I think it kind of changes around. You cease being nervous, but it's hard to keep the motivation up.
Yeah. I think that's more than anything else for people who do get, as you get older, especially for somebody like for Lee, who's just achieved so much. How does he keep his motivation? It's amazing. Just must like winning an awful lot.
Yes. Well, nice holiday in Blackpool every year, and you take home the World Championship
Yeah.
trophy most years.
Yeah.
The one thing to elude him, the singles title, he came, of course, it was in the final all those years ago, but they came so close. And the one we mentioned, 2012, against John Rowe, his good friend, they were sharing a room at the time, I think.
There's a guy just overhit at a fraction.
He had something of a resurgence back in about, well, I say a resurgence, it's not like he really went away, but back in 2012 he had a good run in a few UK Tour events and then got to the final here as well.
Okay.
So close to clinching that elusive singles title.
Well, he'd made a final or two before, hadn't he? He lost to...
Yeah, I think it was about 97 maybe, it was a fair while back.
Yeah, maybe to Carl Morris.
Yeah, it was definitely around that time that Cole was winning here. I mean, that just shows a player of his quality, and he's been here every year, just how few and far between those chances can beat him. So
Hard to win.
I think
It's good recovery.
the fact he's won, I don't even know how many. You did more than two hands to count all the World Championship titles he's won with England. So.
I'm reasonably good friends with Stacey Vine, and he keeps on reminding me he's got about 11 of them. I keep on telling him in 1996 I beat him once.
I think one's enough. Any more than that's just greedy.
Yeah.
If you're the world champion, you're the world champion.
Yeah, correct. But 11 of them's a bit greedy, I think. I keep on telling him he's a greedy bugger. He just recovered from the shot that he overhit up to the middle of the table.
Looked up that record at 97. Lee got to the final where he lost to Rob McKenna.
Rob McKenna, who won two previous to that, I think. I think he played in... sorry, not 1-2 previous. That was one of the two he won.
Yeah.
And then he lost another one to Chris... to Melling.
He lost to Chris Melling,
Yeah. So he was a fantastic player, was Rob McKenna. People forget about him. We used to get... In Australia, we had these postcards with the quickest pot out of all the balls, and it was Rob McKenna. He'd done it in 28 seconds or 33 seconds or something like that. But yeah, I used to see those back in the day. But
yeah, it was a great era of Paul. Him and then Chris Melling coming up, very young at the time. Chris Melling
Chris
coming
was
up.
young, wasn't he? What a potter he was.
But it looks like our finalist tomorrow, Sean Chipperfield, is well, he can't quite yet consider himself in that class, but in terms of the speed, he's
And Lee's played this out beautifully. He overhit the ball earlier and ended up over the ball in the middle. He recovered, and now he just hasn't quite hit this hard enough, and he's left himself right over the top of this yellow, which just makes the shot so much more difficult.
Yeah, this is a really awkward part, and this is something you don't see Lee do. Like he's normally so accurate with a position.
Yeah,
this is the worst place. I mean, it's still makeable, but no formality.
well, it's just...
Wow, where's that black going?
He's fluked it.
Flicks it in the middle. Goodness. Kendall, bad miss on the black, but it's come down all the same, and that's a terrible body blow for the Australians.
Excuse me while I throw up.
Justin was going to be coming back with an easy attempt there.
Oh, I do apologise. Yes, I will keep my composure.
I've commentated on a lot of matches that Lee's played in. I'm not sure I've seen him fluke many balls. He's normally so steady that he doesn't need to, but
I won't say anything about lucky English.
that's an important one.
You know. I think management are telling me to leave.
Under terms of your contract, sir, to keep your opinions to yourself.
Yeah, I think I've kept very cool, actually.
If it had been against James, that might have been too much.
It was against Australia. I still wasn't happy. That's 3-1. Australia needs a couple of frames right now.
Well, even as an Englishman, I hope that doesn't prove to be a decisive factor in it. Australia wouldn't deserve to go several behind purely because of that.
Oh, it's a 3-1 to 2-all situation. It makes an enormous difference in a very quick race. So, who have we got?
So, Mark Robertson for Australia, but Rob Warren for England to break first. Ball deposited.
Mills looking very good.
Well, Steve Mills, the England manager, looking fairly happy. Ben Flack next to him, managing a smile already. No, in fact, I think you can tell they're ahead. They look pretty relaxed, that front row of English players.
Yes, I think if you went over to the other side, they wouldn't be so relaxed.
No. But how quickly it can change. We saw the Indian team looked just like that when they were 4-1 up, and then a few frames later, Ireland were all over them again. I think the problem is, though, with England, they're just not going to let anybody off.
No.
England are going to have to, Australia are going to have to really fight their way back into this. Well, a little bit of work for Rob to do. A couple of easy ones to start with, but then just needs to mind his work in the bottom right-hand corner.
Yeah, he needs to get down, pot the one that's above. The two that are together, if you can pot the one that's above. In fact, he needs to get rid of the one the other side first. Then he pots the one that's above, and then it goes. The one closest to the black spot will go back the other side.
Yeah, is he on this top one?
Yeah, it's not a great shot. Because like I said, I felt that he needed to get rid of the one he just hit and then play the one closest to the pocket and then allow the other yellow to go back the other side. But he's obviously playing a safety.
It's not the most telling of safety.
No. Boys look a bit nervy.
Yes, don't they? So, first look at Mark Robertson as we see his famous brother Neil at the back of the Australian supporters there. World champion in snooker in 2010. Long-time world number one. So, good family pedigree of cue sport.
Yes, we're all very, needless to say, all Cuists in Australia are very proud of Neil. He's not only a great player, but he carries himself with aplomb as well. He's a very, very good ambassador for us.
Yeah, isn't he? And another one that's how difficult it must be coming over as a young lad. And I mean, he was toughened
Great
up.
shot.
Yeah, very good shot from Rob Warren. Toughened up the hard way, Neil Robertson as well. Came over, fell off the tour once, and then got back onto it.
Yeah. Look, I understand. I sent my son over around about a couple of years after, trying to do the same thing, but financially it was hard to keep him here, and he came over once and didn't quite make it, and went back home again. But very, very hard for an Australian to make it. So what Neil's done is just amazing. His brother's a very, very talented cueist also. Won the Australian singles 3 years ago, I think. Australian 8-ball singles. Captain of this Australian team. That's, if he's hit it, it's a good shot.
Ooh, just clipped the middle pocket.
Needs to have got lucky enough to have covered that red. If he hasn't, well, it goes off the yellow anyway. Sorry, off the other red anyway, which would open the pocket, I suppose. But they both seemed a bit low to be having a crack at these, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
The game's changed
Gun shy.
automatically.
Yes.
We've seen 4 or 5 guys go at them every time they walk to the table.
Yeah, well, it's not like either of these two are short on the potting experience. They both like to get involved.
Playing the ball in the middle first, which is a good option if he. Yeah, you can just tell. Not 100%.
I would say that the vast majority of balls we've seen missed today have been in the middle. Anytime somebody's been trying to drop them in from an angle, they've been really struggling.
Yeah. Well, here's Australia's opportunity. Really, Mark needs to take these out. Lead his captain, and I'm not saying it's added pressure for him, but if he takes these out, it really just sets a great example for his teammates.
Yeah, absolutely. 3-2, they'd be right back in it, whereas 4-1 is starting to get a little bit awkward. Well,
it's not a great shot.
That's not quite right, is it?
No. I felt that he just, what we call
He slightly lacked commitment. I mean, he didn't want to be hitting it too hard, but
he
didn't want to be doing that either.
Yeah, stunned and got on one of them. Not the best result. Now he has to pull off a good pot.
Yeah, it's amazing just how much more difficult it makes. If you can get his hand on the table, this is fine. There's the queuing over a ball to the left one is difficult.
Yeah.
This one up the table isn't really.
Well, the one up the
Right
table only goes to the left-hand pocket.
Yeah,
And
that
the
doesn't.
white's just about snicking the yellow in the centre pocket at the same time.
Well, he's looking at it, but
I think he might be looking at doubling it back down to the corner pocket where all the action is again.
yeah, the aggressive option here doesn't look attractive, does it?
He's played a
Right, he
double
called
down the
it.
other end.
Oh, I doesn't want that in, does it? Well. I mean, better that than some of the potential outcomes, but
Yeah, I don't think that's... I think it's probably... I wouldn't have been at all surprised to see him lose the frame if it didn't go in. I think it's...
no, well, he just didn't look very. I didn't look very happy at that.
Yeah,
and
it's
the way he's
not-
played it, it feels
yeah.
like.
Hasn't left himself too well, but this is over the hole, and if it goes in, well, he's out of there. Missed it by a long way. Good white, though.
Yeah, he's played it confidently. I mean, you wonder. Some people would have played it a bit slower to cover if he missed, but
Yeah, I think if he pots it, though, he leaves his white on the cushion
yeah.
behind the yellow there, and he's out of there. He just was a long way off the pot. Yeah, like I said, he got a little bit lucky with the result. It's less forced the ball over the hole. He's not playing the ball over the hole. It's
30 seconds.
he's played it well.
So that yellow we talked about that's clustered with the red goes off the red, but does it go?
Doesn't go
I don't
cleanly.
think it goes clean, does it?
No. Well, off the red's probably the best option because it opens up the other yellow. But
It is, although that red is quite. If the red was just a bit further off the cushion, it would be unmissable. But
Yeah.
where it is, it's.
yeah,
I don't know. I don't think it's that easy unless you're right behind it.
and it's not easy to get right behind, especially at that pace.
This is a slightly awkward angle as well.
But he's not playing, as you said, unless you're right behind it. You're really not playing this off the red with any confidence, are you?
No,
And you're probably losing the white.
it's very easy to double kiss, and even if you catch the red, it's
Yeah.
not always going towards the pocket. You're going to end up. It's going to end up halfway up the right hand side cushion some of the time.
Played it soft. He's potted it. Has potted it. Well, now he's looking for a kiss.
Yeah, it's all about what happens with the last yellow.
He certainly can pot the yellow in the middle of the table, but needs to make contact. I assume he needs to make contact. I can't think that yellow could possibly be on. the
No, I mean
right-hand
it can be
corner.
deceptive. Like sometimes
Yeah.
it can, although
No, he's using a bit of bottom. It looks like he's knocking it.
yeah, I mean, it was going to be really difficult to cannon it like that and not knock it safe.
Well, the double's on. Into the other centre pocket where he's looking now.
Yeah, there's just a gap, isn't there? It's
Yeah.
tight, but
Whether he follows through and puts the black in the same hole or just stuns back and put the black in the... No, he's following through. And putting
yeah,
the
well, you feel
black in the
following
same
through
pocket.
makes some element of a.
Missed it by
I say some element of a shot to nothing if he'd followed through and left the white right over the right hand side.
yeah. So does Mark go or does he snooker?
I feel in a team match he should probably be thinking about the snooker here.
3-1 up, you're potting out.
Yeah, I mean in
Right, at 3-1 down, you're probably snookering.
in the club he's always clearing these up, but I don't know about under this pressure. Well, especially given what an easy snooker it is, because he's unlikely to fluke anything out of it.
Yeah, and you're probably covering the black.
Yeah.
Right? You must be thinking just to move the red up a few inches to make certain the line to the black and the
Yeah.
pocket is covered. Then not only does he have to fluke or come off two cushions and fluke the ball in the middle, but he also has to get position on the black side.
Yeah.
Let's say. But the odds are he'll get out of the snooker. He's letting him hit. Oh, maybe the black's in the way.
Well, it would be a bad result if he's left him the thin edge, because
We
the
could
thin
hit
edge
enough
is
of
the
it to pot it.
potty angle, yeah.
I think he's snookered. He's looking at it off two cushions.
Yeah, I mean this is tricky. Not to hit, but
No.
so many reds around the table, it's going to leave one of them.
And it never ceases to amaze me how often that shot is missed. Right? People say to me, "Well, I didn't play the snooker because it was too easy to get out of."
Yeah.
And I just say, under the pressure of the situation, sometimes just to
Yeah,
land in a little bit better situation.
Well, especially where that yellow is, it's right in the middle of the table. The snookers are much easier to get out of if the ball's nearer a cushion. But
Of course.
it's so easy to get round that.
Yeah. And now Mark's got 2 shots.
Yeah, I mean, this is perfect, isn't it? He's got to take these.
Well, there's just there's a huge amount of pressure, but the pressure is just released so much by having two visits.
I mean, he shouldn't need 2, but the fact he has 2 means he shouldn't need them.
Correct.
That's the advantage.
That's exactly right. Exactly right, Mark. And that's a good shot.
Yeah, that's what he needs to do.
Yeah. Could go this way as well. Can go either way.
I think he'd be happy just to take this one at the top of the table.
Yeah.
Everything's nice and close together. So he just needs to hold himself together. Simple little screw shot here. Absolutely perfect.
So he claws one back.
Easy, but he did what he needed to do. Good response from Mark Robertson. A real captain's performance, that, leading from the front. After the disappointment of that fluke as well in the previous frame, where Justin was denied the chance to come match the table. So we have a match on. England are 1 up, but there's only 1 in it. Next to break for the Australians, Michael Skerry. Sitting in the chair opposite, should he fail to put something off this break, Jack Popel for England.
As I mentioned earlier, Mick has won the last 2 Australian singles titles, so it makes him, in illustrious company. There aren't too many people who won 2 in a row.
Both of these teams, just so much depth to them. It's not, some of the weaker nations you can perhaps look around and say, well, he's the best player and who's the worst player,
Yeah.
but it's not really that easy to do with either of these teams.
No.
Jack Popel's been a fixture of the England team for the last few years.
He's a great player.
Very solid player.
Very solid, yeah. Mick's the same. You wouldn't call him overly flamboyant, but just gets the job done. Potted a ball off the break.
His choice of colours maybe slightly determined by the fact that he's ended up in this corner down here.
Yeah.
None of these yellows look too appealing.
And really, this isn't, from hard up on the jaw there, this red along the bottom cushion isn't that easy.
No. Well, and if he goes that route, he's got to pot it. The only other option is to nominate the yellows and play a safety. But
Yeah, well, with the yellow up over the top right-hand corner, that is an option.
yeah,
But there's 2 reds there to...
can he see any of the yellows?
That's the
Play
other
off the cushion. It's a bit tricky.
Yeah, it's not exactly the... He pots this red. He may have the red in the middle next to go up there and kiss those bad reds.
I think that's probably a shot he didn't really want to have to play, but
No.
that was the best of a bad bunch.
And I think his white's gone through a fraction too far. So he might have to play... It's hard to tell. Might have to play this red on the left-hand cushion up.
Yeah, it feels like there could well be some merit in that because there are lots of yellows up there.
Yeah.
You combine it with a safety shot. You see where I think he's thinking about where he'd leave the white. I think this is a sensible shot if he gets it over the pocket.
Just a little bit pacey.
Yeah, he got a bit greedy there, didn't he?
Well, I
He
think he
wanted to
played
play
the
the
white.
position.
I think he just played the safety. And it is a very good safety shot.
Well, I mean, maybe I thought maybe he was trying to play both, trying to get the good white and the good red, which
I think he would have
was one
loved to
too
have
many,
potted
but,
it or not
yeah.
missed it by so much, and then it would have sat at jaw
Yeah.
and sat over the hole, would have been a great result. But it was a very good white.
Yeah, I mean, you can see that Jack just doesn't have anything to go at.
Yeah. He certainly doesn't want to play the one over the right-hand side.
No, the last thing he wants to do is as soon as he moves that, he's in a world of trouble.
So he's coming off the cushion here, is he?
Yeah, I think
Remembering you have to hit a cushion after point of contact. So he has to play just with a few legs. A bit of steam.
Yeah, I mean, it's all right. He obviously doesn't improve his position by that.
No. It was just a nothing shot to stay in it, but with the confusion over the right-hand side. There's a few shots left in this game yet.
Yeah, definitely.
Got to be very careful of this, Michael. Jack's got balls up there that he could easily use to open up the other side. Whereas
this is one of those frames that could change in one shot.
In one shot, yeah. I think you have to pot here. Maybe have a go at them yourself. It's a good shot.
Yeah, well, that's a pretty good angle, isn't it? I mean, if you can drop behind the one nearest the yellow.
Well, I think, if you can even hit it, just knock it to the top cushion, then you're probably on the one over the other side. And, well, as they say, Bob's your uncle.
Yeah. Is that an Australian expression as well, or have you picked that up over here?
No, I assume it's English background in the first one.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, but Bob's your uncle, certainly an Australian saying of some sort or another.
We've got slightly less barbecue-related ones, on
Yeah,
account of the fact the weather's like this a bit too often.
The weather's been pretty good here this time.
Yeah, well,
consider it's the middle
not
of
today,
summer.
but yes, up until now. Yes, the middle of what we call summer.
Yeah, he didn't go my way, so it's a less attacking option, which Michael's very good at. This one over the hole isn't the worst option in the world, I think.
No, although he looks. Is he considering potting this? He seems.
He is, but I just think over the hole here, he doesn't leave a huge amount. Those two yellows in the middle aren't going too far.
No, I agree with you. Just from where he's looking, you wonder what he's got in mind here. Cause if he's only rolling it in, then he can't really do much with the white.
The plane landed here. I'd left Adelaide, South Australia, and it was 15 and raining. It wasn't great. It was 15 and raining, and the plane landed in Manchester, and it was really nice weather. It's 14 outside. I've left the middle of winter to come to the middle of summer, and it was colder than where I'd left. But I will say I got out of the plane, and it was a warmer. Ours was pretty horrible, windy and a bit of rain about, so it was a nicer 14 than our 15 was.
I remember the first time I went to Sydney, I got out of the airport and thought, this is lovely. This is so much warmer than I'm used to.
Yeah.
Everyone in town was saying, goodness, it's the coldest day of the year. People were wearing coats, hats.
We certainly have some advantages weather-wise.
Although for a game like pool, you don't want the weather to be too nice. It makes you think you shouldn't be inside.
That's a very good call, Mark. I happen to own a pool hall in Adelaide. I do some advertising, Chalkers April Centre.
Anyone passing?
I have 30 pool tables, and I pray for rain.
Yes.
Because, why are the English so good at pool?
Yeah,
well, it's an indoor sport. There's no question that the worse the weather, the more popular my sport is.
If you visited Blackpool in the winter, you would understand why people spent so much time in pool.
Yeah.
We have a UK tour event quite regularly. I think I must have been up to Blackpool for probably 7 or 8 consecutive Februaries. I normally come twice a year, once for this and once for that.
Yeah.
So it's a much nicer town in the summer.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I'm pretty happy to have our summers, but I do better in winter than I do in summer, business-wise. I was surprised he didn't just put that over the hole.
Yeah, it's an interesting position, this, for Jack.
Just have to be very careful. And like I said, Jack's got all those balls to use to promote the bad. There is a shot here. You could play the red off the cushion, off the yellow. More than likely it's going to go and pot the red, but you miss, you lose.
Yeah, I suppose at the moment he's probably thinking he doesn't need to take a risk.
No.
But things can turn around quickly.
Well, like I said, Jack's got all the balls to knock them out with, which is the real worry for me. That's a great shot. It's a great shot.
Yeah, that's a very good shot.
It's the same thing again.
Has he got the taste for this double?
Oh, but once again, even if he doesn't go game here, Jack's got so many balls to knock the yellow out with, and he's got, well, you guys are just such good players that I don't see him not going game if Michael doesn't. So.
Well, that was a more difficult double than the previous one. He just had to force the angle a bit more.
Yeah.
Still, it's not too bad. But
Well, he's left the white in the spot where he needs to probably take one of the yellows that he would be using to get the bad one out with. Could take this one over the hole down the bottom, come back to around the middle of the table, and then he's got options of playing that outside yellow, running the right white over to knock the bad one out.
yeah, I mean, you always like to have as many balls as he's got. Like, none of them are perfect, but he's got a lot of options. Although sometimes that's tricky when you're out there and you've only got 60 seconds. All these things are going through your mind.
Yeah. There's only one yellow needs to be moved. That's the point I'm making here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and you can move it while you've got some left, so you're a bit, well.
It's not a great shot.
This is not a great shot.
No. Now we probably get a snooker.
Yeah, I mean,
Just run the yellow to the cushion and back out in front of the white. But it's a wasted Mick's just going to touch it if he does that. Can pot it.
yeah, I'm not entirely sure what he had. Was he trying to leave an angle to? Oh, seems odd to.
I think he
leaving
tried
an
just to
angle on this
move the yellow on the side cushion a little bit, but there was no need to. It was easily on in the middle.
Yeah, it felt like he really wanted to stay at that end of the table and keep control.
That's why I thought he should have taken this one that he's looking at now first. He is potting it. Left-hand side. Leaves to hit the yellow.
Well, that's a pretty decent kick. I mean, he needed some kiss where he kept position. He didn't want to go past those yellow.
It's the same situation. Can he whack this in with a lot of right-hand side and go over and knock the bad one out? Or does he keep on potting balls till he gets the angle? And then, he, as you said earlier, you want to be knocking that out when you've still got other balls on the table.
Yes, well, that's the thing, because
if you get unlucky when you knock it out.
Yeah, you're definitely not guaranteed to be bang on it if you knock it out.
If you're using it, not doing it till last.
I think this is a bit strange.
Yeah, I agree with you.
If
I
it
think
was
it's
just an inch or two nearer the pocket, it would be in quite a good position.
very, very difficult to go and knock it out.
You could, but
We're about to find out.
you see his options are diminishing.
Well, once again, once you knock that ball out, if you've still got all those balls up near the pocket, if you get unlucky enough not to land on it, it doesn't matter. You've got other balls to get on.
And he's also got the problem. This one near the middle pocket isn't a formality, so you can't take a liberty with it.
Yeah, I think it's probably. Yeah, you're right. These tables are a little bit bigger than the ones we've been playing on all week. It's just those fine cuts are a little bit harder. Of course.
Yeah, it's these shots into the middle pocket that people
have been missing.
Yeah, you look at that and you think, well, just get behind it and drop it in. But I don't know that it's unmissable. And also, how's he going to get behind it whilst also, or is he just going to play a double?
He has to knock this out now. No, he's knocking it out. So we're going to see the result. It's happening right now. And he's missed it. Gone in off. Not quite.
That didn't look a very natural angle to knock it out, did it? I mean, it wasn't a bad angle to hit it, but to actually get it right out of there.
Well, we can go back right to the start when Mick left the white up the top and made him play one of those two balls to knock the ball. I thought he should have been using to knock the ball out. I felt that he should have played the yellow down this end right then.
Yeah, well, his first shot was a strange one, as you say. Perhaps trying to play a cannon and just missed it, but it sort of ended up in no man's land early on.
Well, it looks like I think he was lining up to see if the double on the yellow he's closest to was on.
Well, I mean, it's easy to say in hindsight. You almost wonder if this last ball in the top right, he should just have played a double all along once he'd failed early on to cannon it.
Playing the double here, and then he's going to play another double.
If he'd got behind that and knocked that out, that would have been a brilliant result. But yeah, the double is still on.
The key to me to this is he might still double this and might go game, and everybody will applaud. But I think he's played it really ordinarily. Sorry, I think he should have been trying to get it out a lot earlier than he did.
Yeah, well, he's made it difficult. to be fair to him, he's continued knocking in these recovery shots, which I suppose is all he could do. But
yeah, I think I'm just hopefully thinking that he doesn't deserve to go game. The Australian will win. But excuse my bias.
well, I mean, this is a makeable double, but it's not one he's going to make a huge percentage of the time.
See, like I said, if I'm on the other end of the queue, I'm thinking here, well, I've forced him into this.
Yeah.
He doesn't deserve to get it. And, you've played a lot of pool, you understand where I'm
Yeah,
thinking
absolutely.
about it. And then the guy gets the double and you go, goodness me, don't think I deserve that. So we're about to find out anyway. Karma's a wonderful thing.
Might be your bias to that. I think after Lee's fluke earlier, the Aussies probably deserve one back.
Yeah, look, I don't. Flukes happen, and you can get upset about it at the time, but afterwards the scoreline is the scoreline, so you're getting on with it. But I always feel like if I've outplayed somebody, which I think Mick has here, he deserves to win the frame. Deserves good crack at winning the frame.
I think what's harsh about flukes in this format is, I mean, like Justin just didn't get another shot and may not have another shot in the match. It's that in a best of 15 singles, it's fine. You fluke one, they fluke one, it's done.
And as you said, Mark, it didn't do much wrong there. Jackie's he's tried to knock it out 3 or 4 times. And hasn't got it.
Yeah, I mean, in fact, to get as close to the finish as he did was quite. That was as close to unforgivable as you can get.
Well, I was obviously wrong. Jack deserved to win this frame. That's a pretty ordinary shot. That's just pressure. We all feel it.
Absolutely. I mean, to go anywhere near the pocket, it shows how badly he's hit the pot.
Yeah, I think he just got a bit nervy. A little bit disappointing, but it happens.
Wow, for Jack, imagine getting back to the table with 2 shots and these 2 balls left. This is a dream come true.
Yeah.
Just needs to screw back into the middle of the table for the black. Well, difference between 4-2 and 3-all right there. Well, it's a bad miss, but you could have failed from Michael there. That's obviously under a huge amount of pressure.
I've been there before and done the same thing. Many a time.
We've all been there before and done that, and you have to go through that. It's an important part of anyone's learning process. You just don't really want to do it in the semi-final of the World Championship.
And that's a shame, as you say, that's a shame for him. He'll feel bad about that.
Well, it's a huge frame here. This was the frame that turned the match, I feel, in the Ireland-India match. It was between 5-2 and 4-3 when India missed a ball at the end. If Australia could just nick this one, 4-3 is not a problem at all, whereas 5-2.
2 great players here. I've been watching Ben a lot, and just the last few games, played beautifully against us yesterday morning.
So solid,
I think it was, and Rusty's a legend of Australian pool. Of all the people I've ever seen play, he's close to one of the best I've ever seen, but he's by far the best to watch.
Yeah,
he laughs, carries himself around the table, and has fun.
Yeah, and it's one of the players that's well known. Everyone in England has a soft spot for him as well.
Yeah. And can play. He's
absolutely
just a machine. But Ben's very, very good player.
What Ben's good at is just being really steady. Like, he takes quite a lot of time sometimes in important frames, but just gets himself absolutely ready. And he's also very good at repeating. He takes the same amount of time if it's a really easy shot or a really hard one. He just does the same thing, gets the same result each time. No surprise to see the referee trying very hard to make sure these are racked up properly. It's pretty important at this stage of the game.
I think it's the biggest thing in the game just about these days, the break. And if you get one that the balls don't move much, you're always a little bit disappointed.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, if you miss hit it, it's your fault. But if the balls are racked badly, you start looking to blame somebody else.
Yeah. Second ball down.
Right?
Yeah.
quite popular in the team. There's a big exponent of that break.
That's because Lee hasn't got any muscle on him. He has to break that way. Only kidding, Lee. I think as you do get a little bit older, from my own experience, is that you can't hit them quite as well as the young kids do, and the cut break certainly allows you to pot balls without whacking them sometimes. But I tend to find quite often they all go to the cushion.
Yeah, sometimes they do. You sometimes get a nice split, and then you do the same thing again, and sometimes they're all down the cushion.
Yeah,
You wonder what you were doing.
Yeah. Well, here he is, Rusty Will, the big man. Loves a laugh. Yeah, he's a crazy man, actually. But
Big celebration, certainly, if he takes this one, I think.
always looking for an angle of some sort, is young Rusty. Play yellow onto yellow up the top. Just wants to get on that yellow near where the red's covering it up a little bit over to the left-hand corner pocket. So I'd like to pop this one up the top, and the next one needs a double kiss. Got it. Next one over here. Just a little bit of angle to go low onto the one next to the red down to the bottom corner, and then up for the one up the other end. Not easy to get on that black. It only goes in the middle by the looks of it.
No, that ball he's just played has gone by no means safe, but he's got to play position on it now. It's not hanging right over the hole.
Yeah.
Some nervous faces on the Australian bench.
Yeah. This isn't bad. You just hold the white for the next yellow in the middle, and then to run through for the other yellow back over the other side. But as you say, then has to get up to the yellow that didn't stay over the hole. It's not bad. I think he would have liked to have been another inch or two back.
Yeah, it's not going to be that straightforward. You can see where he thinks he's going to be playing this from. It's not.
Needs to get through it. If he can just get... It's not bad. It's pretty good, I think. Going to pick his way through these, between the yellow and the black, sorry, the red and the black.
Yeah, I think
His check side, lots of check side on there. Can't afford to miss the pot. It's a great shot if he's potted the ball.
yeah, I mean, look at the position. It's pinpoint, but it's no good if you miss the ball.
It's the check side. Once again, you mentioned it.
Yeah,
In a
I don't
previous
think
match.
I don't think many people have been having much joy with playing that. I mean, I know.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's a shot you needed to have in your armoury, and we all play quite a lot. But I think this table's just a bit slippery. So.
Yeah. He's got a very good white ball, but Ben's basically got a free shot. Play this red down in or over the hole. Doesn't leave much if he misses it.
How steady he is.
Yeah.
I just feel that he's one of well, they often put him on last because
Because
he
he's-
obviously thrives on this kind of pressure.
Handles the pressure. Well, he's just about... You'd be surprised if he doesn't clean up now, wouldn't you?
Yeah, well, suddenly that one shot, these are all looking quite nice.
Yeah.
No, that wasn't quite what he had in mind.
No, I think he would have liked to have kissed the black then.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what he was thinking.
Yeah. And if he may be on this up the top, but if he's just covered by all the red, yeah, he has to play the one down here. No, he's on the one on the right hand side. It's a beautiful shot. Once again, very close to his work.
Yeah, I think luckily for him, he's got a very slight angle, which means he doesn't have to. If he's playing straight into that, would be quite hard, but I think he can just play slightly across it.
I think he might be a bit close to that one. He might have to play the other one up inside the yellow, which becomes difficult because he's over the top of the ball.
Yeah, that's what he's doing. And yeah, this is considerably more difficult.
Still not much, plenty of protection. He's not leaving much if he misses it. He's missed it the wrong side.
Well, I was going to say, it's only so long as you... Well, in fact, he hasn't left much, but if he'd have knocked that yellow over the pocket, which he nearly did...
Goodness me, you guys are having your fair share, even though we've had our chances.
So, home team advantage, mate.
Goodness me.
Our table, our rules.
I'm not barracking much. Rusty's on this. Well, that's a good thing. If it's off the cushion, he'll pot this and come back down. Get in there. Excuse me for being biased.
Yeah, I think that would have been a good pot if he'd potted that. That really was the...
Pretty good shot, but once again, Ben will pot this. One good double wins the game, I think.
Yeah, I'm surprised Ben's in this position, though. Given where he was a couple of shots ago, you wouldn't imagine he'd be scrabbling around like this.
Rusty played a very good shot there. Cut this ball in the middle.
He's trying to really dig down into it, which is
Seems a bit strange, doesn't it? They wouldn't be trying to put the black safe somewhere, would he? Missed it by a long way.
I'm not sure digging down that shot was... I really thought it was going to go in off if he just played it the natural.
Oh, excuse me.
Time out in the commentary box where
Goodness me.
Mick gets himself off the floor again.
Well, Rusty's going to have a go at this. He's going to try and knock it out. He'll be on the yellow. No, he's just going to get on the black, is he? Need to be further down than that. Wanted to put the black back in the other middle, I think. But I can bring out my biased self now, can't I? We're in strife.
We'll allow strife. That's okay.
Played up for the double. Goodness me. Sorry, but I think my yellow over the top left-hand corner would still be there if that had been me visiting the table. I would have just knocked this one off the bottom cushion. Yeah, but I'm a conservative old man.
Yeah, I'm surprised. Well, indeed, the shot you suggested, trying to come into the black off the first yellow, if you're going to go for the attack.
At least your white was going to be on the right side for the yellow.
I mean, this is makeable, but a low percentage shot.
Well, once again, like I said, I think we haven't had our fair share here and there, but pull the yellow off the bottom cushion and wait another visit. Right, then you've got two balls to knock it out with. Ben wasn't going game with the balls where they were, so then you've got two balls close to a hole to try and knock it out with, and maybe just a bit nervy. But that was probably a little bit stiff. The odds are it'll be 5-2. Need to win 6 of the last 8.
Yeah, that's awkward. And also with the knowledge that they've thrown away a few. I mean, Australia have had some pretty presentable opportunities the last few frames.
Well, in the end, they don't matter. The only ones that matter are the next ones.
Absolutely. That's the way they've got to think about it. I mean, this is a real let-off for Ben. Given some of the stuff that's happened in this frame, he could have lost this a couple of times. See them meticulous preparation. He's not going to rush into anything.
Oh no, he's certainly a nice situation to be in.
Well, this is why he's glad he's got 2 shots.
Yeah, you can't see much going wrong, but just a gentle little shot, even if you're a bit nervy, even quarter of the way down the table was good enough, wasn't it?
Well, just, a shot at this ball was
Yeah,
all
you
he
could have
needed,
left the
wasn't
white
it?
on the top cushion. It would have been better than that. Probably not. This is pretty simple. Just a little soft double, or is he just going to snick off it? It might be potable, of course. Well, white ball's going the wrong way, unless he wants to take it up the top.
Well, he's turned this into a position where he couldn't miss to one where he could miss. Yeah, I mean, take it up the top is a much simpler position, but makes the pot missable. The other way,
Yeah,
the position's missable.
yeah. As you say, if you're down the pub, you just stun it in the middle and suck across and get a straight shot on the black. But
Goodness.
well, my 4-2 might have gone to 3. Sorry, the 5-2 might have gone to 4-3. That's wishful thinking on my part. Goodness me, Rusty, get down and knock this in, boy.
Wow, what an opportunity. And it's down. What a shot, Rusty Wheeler.
Oh, it's a game changer. As you said, it's not a game changer, but they're still behind. But certainly,
Wow, the difference between
5-2 and
4-3.
4-3. It's a 3-frame difference to 1 frame. I see Sean in the background getting the hanky out.
What a final frame. There was a moment in that last frame, Mick, I thought I was going to have to introduce the swear filter into the commentary box, but in the end, 4-3. I mean, the Australians are going to be the happier of the 2 teams, surely, coming into the mid-session interval.
Look, I don't know if they're going to be terribly happy, but they're certainly back in the match, and that's going to make them very happy. They from probable 5-2 down to 4-3 down is an amazing difference in a race to 8, and if they can win this first frame, well, then definitely all the momentum will be with them. So, yeah, I don't know if you need to get the swear meter out. I'm pretty controlled these days. If you'd let me out the back for a couple of minutes, there might have been a few walls being punched. But look, I understand the pressure of it out there. It's amazing. It's one of the few sports where the further you get into it, the tougher it gets. You know, most sports are physical and you play and you get over the nerves pretty quickly. This sport, the last shot is the hardest rather than the first. And
Absolutely.
I feel for all those guys out there that have just missed a couple, because I think we all understand that. We've been there and missed. And look, you feel so embarrassed, like you've let your teammates down. And
Yeah, well, that's the thing, isn't it? Playing a team thing. Well, the players have stepped outside for 10 minutes to settle their nerves. Mick will do the same. We'll join you again after the mid-session interval. See you
thanks,
shortly.
Mark. Cheers. I wasn't over the top.
So we're back here, the second semi-final, the World Team Championships in Blackpool. Incredible first half of the match. There was mistakes. There was fantastic potting. And what have we just seen? A massive turning point in this match. Ben Flack looked for all the world. 2 visits, 2 balls on the table. Should be home and dry. But John Rusty Wheeler stole the frame. Pulled it back to just a 4-3 deficit. So first up in this second session, we've got James Delahunty. He'll be coming to the table to break off against Rob Warne. Once again, I've still got Mick Delahunty in the commentary box with us, Mick, and this has all the makings of going all the way.
Yeah, it certainly has, Sean. This is a really important frame for Australia. I think if James could somehow break and dish, just all the white balls gone.
Yeah, he's lost the white there.
All the momentum would change very, very quickly. Yeah. Black's half safe, but the Reds knock it out. One average red on the cushion, but the Reds look like the boss.
Yeah. I say England opened up here with Rob Warne. They brought Dave Fernandez into the second half of this match, as each team brings 1 extra player in for 8 frames in the second half. Dave Fernandez down in match frame number 13, and Australia have only got 8 players, Mick, who've travelled, obviously. So the 8th player for Australia, Adam Andretzky, has come in, and they've put him in the deciding frame if it's to go that far. So you just tell us a bit about Adam, maybe?
Adam's from my home state, actually. He's from Adelaide, South Australia, and he's a great lad, great player. He's just been, well, luckily enough for him, he's made the Australian side for the 2nd time in a row, and he's made it with all the great players in Australia coming, and he's maybe regarded as a fraction less than these 7, but he's a sensational player in his own right. Very, very steady player. He handles pressure well. So this situation won't faze him, even though he'll be probably coming in, if he does, at 7-all, so that's a tough situation.
Yeah, if he gets his chance, it's going to be 7-all in this race to 8. So
really nice lad, very, very, very good player. Steady play, doesn't, you're not going to see anything flash, but balls are there, he seems to get them. And look, I can't say enough good things about him. He's one of my great mates. He plays, and I've played in, you have county titles, we have national titles where all our states play against each other, and Adam has been a linchpin of my state for a number of years now.
So has all the pedigree.
Certainly,
if it comes to that deciding frame. But at the moment, it's Rob Warne at the table. Good chance here to open up a 2-frame lead again on Australia, but he's got a little bit of work to do. Certainly not straightforward. We saw in his first frame he just got out of position on his last ball. Well, he's a bit unlucky. He's played to cannon and not finished on it. He's had to try a double. He's not made it, and he's lost the frame.
Played that beautifully. It's on the bad ball down the cushion, just white's off the cushion, so he can just drag this back and have a good angle on the last red to knock the black out.
Yeah, and that's the only problem with this. He's having to leave that till the end. He's going to have to trust to a little bit of luck that he finishes on the black. But
when he plays his last red, he's going to need to kiss the black rather than hit the cushion first. I think if he hits the cushion first, he's knocking the black towards the centre or the top pocket where James has balls covering both those pockets. So, but if he kisses it first, he knocks it towards the centre or up the top. So,
yeah, he just looks like he's got a good angle here to run into it, almost full in the face.
No, he couldn't have played that second to last shot better. He just played a beautiful little stun and stayed on the bad red on the cushion. Now he's got every opportunity. Just needs a little bit of luck, as you say, Sean.
He's got it out, but he's got a pot, but it's tough. It's a really, really tough pot here. Top left-hand corner pocket.
Slightly hampered queuing, but great player. You expect him to get awful close.
Got down awfully quick on it. So.
He's missed that by a fair margin.
Yeah, he's dollared it over the pocket.
So James basically will want to go game. He won't want to be leaving him snooker so he can go across the table and hitting it.
But again, he's got the slightly awkward situation, the 2 yellows on the left-hand side of the table.
Yeah.
He can probably, if he gets the right angle, he can pop the bottom one and maybe be able to get back into the one over the one above it. But for me, he doesn't want to leave that till the again. You don't leave that till the end. He needs to get it down there as early as possible.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, if he plays that shot and he doesn't get great position on it, he's got the insurance ball, the one over the right-hand middle.
Might very, if he can get the white between the black and the yellow in the middle of the table here, right over that side, play that yellow in the middle, he could go down and knock them out softly as well. So he's got a few options, as you say. The sooner he gets them out, Sean, the better. He's just bringing. Oh, he's had a go. What a great shot! What a great shot! Oh, that's a great shot.
Yeah, because that yellow, it's on the bottom rail, it's off the rail, it's in quite a nice position, and he could probably even get on that next.
Yeah, look, I don't know if he's quite got the angle. If he has, that's great. Otherwise, he'll just stun, play the one in the middle and screw back for it. That's very, very good first shot, wasn't it?
Yeah. Super effort from James there.
Oh, as you say, Sean, had the angle just to slide through for it. Still a lot of pressure.
Well, in this situation, every ball is pressure. We've already seen that. Michael Skerry with that black in the first session. Better say Ben Flack with the 2 visits in frame 7.
Would have loved to have gone a few inches more to be on the other one in the middle.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think it was the one in the left-hand middle was the shot, the next one.
Yeah.
But still all in prime position here.
Oh, look, you expect him to go. It's just the pressure of the situation is the only thing that can cause any problems here. Sure.
If he's taking the one into the right middle, he just didn't want to run too far with it, or not
go
far
up
enough.
Yeah, I think.
I mean, I think he's okay. He's never going to finish short on it.
I think
he's
you
going
go up
too
and
far.
down. I think you go up and down. Is my personal opinion. Give yourself both options. If you land in the middle of the table, then he's played it very well.
He has, yeah. He's
Like to have gone another few inches.
Yeah, he's
again.
just going to be hampered a little bit. He's just queuing over the black. No, he's fine there. He's okay. Just thought his hand's going to be a little bit closer.
I've seen him for a while. He just doesn't miss much, Sean.
No.
That's the point about him.
No, I mean, when you've finished top of the averages, like James has, you've not missed many frames. You've not missed many shots, even.
Well, this is his 4th frame in a final against England. And he has gone game off his first visit in all 4. Played a final 2010 that they lost. So he's had a very, very good finals record.
Yeah, that black, it's 4 frames all now. In this race to 8, little shake of the head from Rob Warne. He knows there he had a great chance to extend in England's lead. Australia celebrate.
And there's a momentum change, Sean. Yeah. Basically 5-2 down for half a second. Now it's 4 all.
Yeah, they certainly had chances.
These next few frames, Jake and Justin both had good chances from Australia in the first round, and both, ended up not winning. So see if they can lift themselves again.
Yeah, I mean, over the years, England have had some truly great players played for them. The likes of Phil Harrison, Mick Hill, who's still the reigning champion. They no longer play for the team. They've opted not to play county pool, which you have to do to play for the England side. And, you have to qualify through the county system and the trials at Great Yarmouth in the beginning of the year. So they've opted not to do that anymore, which is why they're not in the side. There are also some great players playing for England.
Yeah, dry break there, Sean. Haven't seen many of those. Yeah, I can go back further. I'm sure you can as well. But I played against Kendall obviously, but Twister, Jason Twist, and Brewer when he was. First 10 years we came here, we'd look at the ranking sheets, and Brewer would be number 1.
Yeah, I mean that was the truly great side. The Twist, Brewer, Kendall, and then you had Appleton, Hill, Morris, and Harrison.
Yeah,
I mean, you think of that side on paper was just.
Even Stacey Vine was, maybe a little bit behind them. Mark Goodwin, they were just good, solid players. They weren't.
Yeah, I think in the early days of the team championship, they actually played in teams of 9. So he played 3 sets of 9, 27 frames.
I wasn't going to mention this, but we did actually happen to win one in 1996, and that
Yeah,
was...
and who was the captain that year, Mick, of the Australian side? Do I know that guy?
Yeah, yeah.
Do I know that guy who was the
Anyway,
captain?
that was best of 27,
Yeah.
and we won that. And well, certainly my proudest 8-ball moment because of who we beat.
Yeah.
That was the great England side of all time, with regard, as far as we were concerned, of course. Yeah. These guys are now just as good, if not better. Yeah. But those guys were just sensational.
Yeah. I'll tell you, good opportunity. Oh, we didn't want that kiss on that yellow, I don't think. Good opportunity here for Jake McCartney. He's just got the awkwardness of the black here.
I think he has to get not a lucky kiss, but just play that red in the middle. Yeah. Just a little bit of development. If he maybe kisses the yellow near the black, he'll leave himself on the red over the bottom right. A little bit of luck for Australia, Sean.
I'm just seeing where he was cueing, where he was pointing his cue there, so you can obviously see this.
Yeah, just roll it in. I think just kiss the first yellow like that. Oh, and he's had no luck. Bad shot. Hit it too hard.
Yeah, it didn't really need.
Yeah.
And I think it was because he flicked the yellow and it just affected his positional shot on the previous shot.
Yeah, I actually thought he was going to. So he kissed the first yellow, then kissed the second one, open the black up, and you would have been on this red he's right next to you. But he's hit it just a fraction hard, I think. Like we said earlier, easier from here. This is very, very dangerous as well, because it's going to be very hard not to leave him on the yellow in the middle. All these balls are on. And Michael will be thinking, give me a shot, of course. Oh, he's on this. Don't tell me he's on this.
He can see that, but it's a very thin cut. No, he's opting not to. And he hasn't covered the pocket. But it is a good shot, because he's left Michael Hope pretty much nothing there.
The yellow he's closest to could go onto the one in the middle. It's a tough shot.
It's a very low percentage shot. You know, it's one of them, well, I've got absolutely nothing else I can think of here. So I'm going to play that. Just wondering whether he can see the yellow at the table, that he could play safe.
I must admit, I hope he can. I'd rather he didn't play the yellow onto the yellow, because if he gets it, he goes game, probably.
If he can just see enough to get the cue ball over the right-hand side of the table.
Yeah.
Which I think he can, the way he's playing this. Oh, he's gone for the pot. That's an incredible shot. It really is.
How good a shot was that, Sean? And the white ball, magnificent. Right? He's left absolutely nothing. Well, does he continue? Pop the one down the right-hand corner? I think he's got no choice,
I don't think he has any choice now. Now that's gone in. Like you say, he's played that with some safety in mind, but now... And they are all there, like you say. The yellow goes past the red bottom left.
Black probably goes as well.
Yeah.
But that's probable. Once again, Jaws straight, just a chance to head in front, and bit of bad luck, just snooking himself on the easy red.
Yeah, they took the first frame of the match and led 1-0, but since then, they've never been in front.
Catch up. Got to give Michael great credit here. That was a fantastic first pot. Especially, we've seen a few people fall under the whip of this match so far.
Well, he's looked to clear the pocket there, and again he's had some luck there. England are absolutely riding their luck, something ridiculous in this match at the moment.
Throw up again.
I think we're going to have to get. Mick's just going to have to take a time out here, coach, because this is killing him at the moment. This is killing him.
You can't believe that, Sean. He's left him off everything.
Yeah. I think he can see the one on the bottom rail, but that's
right.
You know, it's such a tough shot. I think that's all he can do. He's just drop this, maybe on the bottom rail.
Excuse me,
leave the cue ball on the bottom rail,
Yeah.
tight as if he can.
Leave it there.
Just nudge the red out and leave it there.
Leave it right there.
Yeah, and that's pretty much all
Maybe
he can
follow
do.
through to the middle of the table, maybe even harder. He's had a
Oh,
go
no,
at it.
he's gone
missed
for the
it.
pot.
Oh, he's got it. Oh, Jake.
Oh, that was a superb effort from Jake McCartney.
Oh, Jake, that's a great shot. Well, I can't help myself. Come on, Jake.
I think we'll be calling security shortly and having one Australian evicted out of the commentary box.
Goodness me,
This
having
is
heart
great stuff.
failure here,
This
mate.
is great stuff. I mean, this.
So what's this, stun?
It's spun across, isn't it?
It's just between the yellow and the black. Not an easy shot. This isn't. You can play top and go between the cushion and the black, but these pockets seem a fraction more forgiving than the ones we've been playing on all week, Sean. I thought that
That comment has been made before now, and then sometimes they have. And
it's good. That's a great shot.
it's a good shot, but again, he's canning the black into
Yeah, but
an awkward position.
He plays these very well. He's just got to smooth it through the ball with a lot of right-hand side and back over the other side again.
Well, again, it's just all about that reaction off the cushion here when he puts the spin on it.
Yeah. Just as long as it doesn't slide too far.
Oh, I tell you what. Oh!
Said
He is so close. Another half a roll, and he has angled himself.
I'm an old man. I can't see that. Is he on it?
He's on it.
Oh.
I'm certain he's
Thank
on it. Yeah,
goodness.
he's playing it.
Oh, thank
He's playing it.
Get in there.
Mick, calm yourself down. You're fine. And Australia are 5-4 up in this race to 8.
Goodness me.
Just take a minute, mate. Just take a minute. Because this is absolutely stupendous. This is team pool. It's finest in terms, maybe not the highest quality, but the sheer drama, the excitement, the missed pots, everything that's happening out there is what the guys are playing this game for. You know, it's one frame pool.
Yeah, people who haven't played at one frame pool very often don't understand the pressure. Even just playing third division back home, the pressure is enormous.
Yeah.
It's people who just say, I can't do this. How do you get over the nerves? I say you don't ever get over them.
You never get home. You just learn how to cope with them.
Yeah,
that's how you. That's what you do.
Correct. And young Michael now would be sitting back in his chair, wouldn't be terribly happy with himself. But as you say, maybe he tried to play that ball off to open the pocket up. You think? Sean?
I don't think that would. I know. Look, hindsight's a great thing. I didn't call the shot when I saw it. I just didn't think that was the way forward. I think it was far better to try and develop the black out of there.
Black was probably close to on.
The black would probably
Certainly
have
would have
gone
sat
in
over the
terms.
hole.
He could have dropped. Yeah, he could have dropped over the hole and put all the pressure back on Jake McCartney.
You saw the ball Jake podded across the bottom cushion. As I was saying, all week I feel like the balls have just been a little bit high like that, have been hitting the jaw and staying there. But it certainly never looked like missing, did it?
No, that was a superb shot. I mean, that won him the frame ultimately. You know, he's played a couple of more really good shots, but that was the frame winner.
You know, I wouldn't have been happy if he jaw snookered himself.
The way this match has gone, that's all you could see happening, to be honest.
Correct.
Anyway, it's frame 10. Justin Sage to break. Australia are leading by 5 frames to 4. A race to 8 for a date with Ireland tomorrow morning at 11 o'clock. And it's a dry break. Things don't look... Either set here, you're looking at there's stuff that's awkward. Red's potentially, because if he was to take the right hand, there's a red, a yellow, and a yellow, and a red down the right hand side of the table. When he takes one of them, he can nudge that and maybe open the red up, but it's a difficult position, that is.
That's a pretty good shot. He's going to clear up the top end of the table first.
Yeah, and again, that's what you do, you know.
Just seems to be a little bit of Murphy's Law there, Sean. Everything that can go wrong has gone wrong, basically, hasn't it?
Yeah. I mean, Mike King's had a decent tournament here. He's come into his first World Championships with this England side, newly qualified, which takes some doing to break into the world team in your first year. And he's had a reasonable success, 64% success rate.
2 out of 3 at this level, Sean. It's just massive.
Yeah.
And he's played for that ball. Yeah, okay. I was thinking he might stay on the one, but of course, the one near the middle, but it goes into the middle pocket easily enough on these tables, doesn't it?
Yeah. Certainly showing his confidence.
Well, he's now about to play the shot that you said was the frame decider, probably. Do you go too far?
I think he's gone too far, isn't it? Going to have to take the one on the left-hand side of the table. Oh, what's he? Don't know. What's he looking at here? No, he is. He's definitely going to take that one. He can't see.
Didn't mean to. He wanted to be on the red, you were saying.
Yeah.
Still, he just needs to pot this, which he's done.
He pretty much showed you where he wanted to leave the cue ball, which is not far away from it.
Well, it's not bad, is it?
The thing about this, when he splits this up now, he's got that red into the right-hand middle, almost like as an insurance ball.
As an insurance ball. If he doesn't gets unlucky with position on
he
the other
hasn't got to hit this too hard, I don't feel.
Just move the yellow, the red's on.
And that's perfect, that is absolutely perfect from Mike King. I think he's actually got the choice. He takes this red. He doesn't, the one in the middle pocket is...
Roll the one in the middle for a straight shot in the black, no work to be done. And when you're under this much pressure, the less work you have to do.
I tell you what, he just looked like he's overcut that a little bit. He just overcooked it. When we saw the angle, he's gone into the left-hand side of the pocket as we looked.
I would like to have seen a wider angle because I felt like even from where we were, he should have played the ball into the middle.
Still, yeah.
Now the black goes in the same hole.
Yeah. This is tough now. This is tough.
Yeah, I think you'll probably just cut it in softly and then put the black in, go over across the other side and put the black in the same hole.
We've seen so many balls missed into these middle pockets.
First jaw. It's a good shot.
But not by Mike King, and that is superb.
Great shot.
Great shot from Mike King. So this 8 ball, right middle, to level the match. Down it goes, and it's 5 frames all here in Blackpool.
You're getting a bit excited there, Sean. You just a little bit of nervous tension yourself, mate?
No, not really, no. I'm quite unbiased. Just want to see the best team win. The team that plays the best pool, and that's whether that's Australia or England, Mick. No bias here whatsoever.
Yeah. I quite honestly couldn't give a damn which one plays best. I just want Australia to win, Sean.
I just did say most of that with a straight face, viewers, until Mick looked at me. But no,
I agree with Tony, and we'll walk away shaking hands at the end of it.
Exactly. I mean, at the end of the day, the one thing I learned many years ago when I first came to these championships, there was a perception about Australian sportsmen, and I think it was a completely wrong perception, and I had that. They play really hard, but they play fair, and that's what I've always liked about all the Australians who've come across. I can't think there's ever been any of them that I've not liked after the end and respected at the end of the championships, having watched them play the game. I mean, the likes of Russell Yolton many years ago was one of the first Australians. I became really friendly with yourself in them early days when I was coming, and refereeing. Really good.
It's a long way to come to be not thought of well, isn't it?
No, it is. Yeah. No. So frame 11, England captain Lee Kendall.
There was that break again.
Underway.
When was that half ball cut break again?
It's okay if a ball goes down. The saving grace is yellows look like the ball potentially, other than the black.
And the right-hand side cushion.
Yeah.
Can be lifted, of course.
Yeah. So.
Reds aren't bad either.
No, there's some work to be done though here. Either suit. Steve Woods, who's unfortunate to come up against Mike King in the first session and lost the frame. So he'll certainly be looking for a little bit of redemption here with his teammates.
I personally think, Sean, it doesn't matter which ones you take, you are some chance of finishing. He's going to pot this. Is he going to not move in the black? Oh.
Tell you what, he's now opened this up because Lee Kendall, if he wanted to, there's an angle there to split that red and the black up.
Right now.
I mean, I don't know how close they are. Yeah. We can't quite tell from the angle we've got. but he's got a chance to split them. It's just then really about finishing on a ball.
And the Reds are all on, besides that one Neela Black, which we're not quite sure about, but everything else is not hard. He's going to play the ball in the middle and open the other one up, I think.
I just wonder if that red actually goes top right.
Yeah, you
Mick,
can't.
it's not
I think,
that close.
I think this is too fine to stay on it, Sean.
But yeah, if he was playing for that, he's gone too far. So,
is there any chance it's just on?
well, I'm wondering now because he's queuing it. It's on. We just can't tell that they just look so close together. Yeah, well,
So that's a really bad shot from Steve because if he pots the balls, this is his option.
Just a little bit of extra adrenaline or something like that pumping, and he's hit it too hard. And again, once again, we've seen a ball in the middle pocket missed.
Australia's finally got their heads in front, and all of a sudden, 2 frames later, they're behind again. So
It's not over yet. Certainly,
No,
this
no,
frame.
no.
We've seen so much happen in this match. There's been pretty much not one straightforward frame.
I did tell you I thought Adam Andreski would be ready, but he's going to have to be.
Potentially, yeah. I mean, we're not banking here against a 7-all
No.
in the final frame shootout.
And I mean, right here and now, he's got to take the ball over the pocket. Right, the only other pot he's got is the bottom of those 3, and it's a fine cut. So he has to take this ball into the corner pocket. Position isn't automatic.
The thing about Lee Kendall is you won't see him go game unless he knows it's absolutely there. He does not take chances, Lee Kendall.
Well, we know that the guy's an absolute maestro. He's been in this England side since the first year these world titles started back in '93.
Oh, that's okay. That's okay. He's just got to find his position on the top one of the 3.
The top one of the 3 needs to go back to the right-hand corner, by the looks of it. Unless he can pot this in the middle and...
Well, that's it. He takes this in... Does he look to take... Can he see that one to take it into the right-hand middle? But
I don't know
it's a
that
low
it goes.
percentage shot. If it goes past that, it probably doesn't, but...
Yeah. It doesn't go in the other middle either, I think. He's taken the middle of the 3.
Does he nudge into it now? It's a natural angle maybe to follow through.
If he can.
Just nudge it.
See there, it just doesn't go in the middle.
No, he hasn't.
Playing up the top shot.
Yeah.
Of course, that's what he's doing.
Massive shot here for not just Lee Kendall, but for his England team.
And for my heart.
If it goes quiet in the commentary box after this frame, don't worry. Mick's just passed out and we'll get him revived later on once the match is finished.
Well, you really can't see him missing the pot. It's just all depends on position, doesn't it, more than anything else?
Yeah. Oh, he's missed it. He has missed it. Well, that is unbelievable. You did not think Lee Kendall would miss that. Well, certainly you didn't, Nick.
I was hoping. Sorry, nothing against
No.
Lee personally.
At the end of the day, you know.
Yeah, I apologise for that, Lee. I certainly don't wish ill of anybody. Well, Stevie, the balls are there. You just got to get them, don't you? Pull down the cushion now. Second or third in the averages in the whole room, I think Stevie was.
He was joint fourth with Dylan Leary for Northern Ireland.
Right.
At just over 69%. It's a great performance. Just looking, hails out of New South Wales along with Justin Sajic and Rusty Wheeler. So he's got some state teammates here as well. I think you all have. I think it's South Australia, Victoria and New South Wales form the nucleus of this Australian squad. But you say, the Australians, almost every time you see them out and about, they're almost as a group as one. You know, practicing together, knocking around together, great team spirit.
These guys have been together for a lot of years.
That's okay. He's just got a little
okay.
bit close to the side rail. He probably wouldn't have wanted to be that close.
It's just a very nerve-wracking situation, Sean. That's all there is to it, mate.
The pressure on every shot is immense.
Yeah, it's just immense. And he'd like to have been 6 inches short of where he is now. Now he has to play this ball and come in and out. And it's a ball that Steve Woods would just knock in every single day of the week.
It's a super shot, that is. It's a super shot.
These boys are basically the same age. It's a group of 33 to 26 to 23-year-olds. 33-year-olds. They've all grown up together in Australia, and as much as it's a big country and we don't see a lot of each other, when they do, they're all very, very good friends. So that's part of the reason I say this is such a great side, because they're very similar ages, very similar ability. Good lads, all of them good lads.
Yeah. I've remembered in the past there seemed to be like one or two older players have
Correct.
qualified,
Yeah.
and I'm not saying they haven't fit in and they haven't played well together, but
Yeah.
maybe, like you say, just not quite the same sort of like mentality and get together.
Look, this group, and we talk about the cricketers with their wives and things like that, but they're here for 6 or 7 months. We're here for 10 days. No wives, no girlfriends, whatever. There is one, Adam's girlfriend's here, and she's a beautiful girl, but just fits in really well. But I know the last few times I've been here, my wife's been with me, and we go and do our own thing. And you're not with the rest of the team, and there is a lot to be said to being with the rest of the side. That's for sure.
Oh, most definitely, but this is looking good for Steve Woods here. This simple 8 ball, top left-hand corner. And Australia regain the lead. It's 6 frames to 5. In this race to 8, the Imperial Hotel in Blackpool.
So 2 frames to go, Sean.
Yeah.
There's actually a possible 4, but I'm just taking for 2.
Yeah, but it's 2 out of 5 they want now.
Yeah.
I think there's still a lot of pool left in this game.
Oh, look, I have no doubt of that. Adam would be just jumping around a little bit in his chair right now, I think. I half wish I was with him, because he's a country lad and he loves giving it to you. All the time he's giving it to you. And right now, I could just give it to him and he'd have nothing for me, I think.
So Mark Robertson, he's going to just wait for a referee, Sasha Gauci, just making sure those balls are absolutely spot on this rack. This is the time when the referee just feels a little bit of pressure. I know I've been out there in this situation. You start to feel like I stood out in the arena in the first part of this match, and the tension, the atmosphere was electric. So anyway, frame 12, Mark Robertson to break. Captain looking to put Australia within 1 frame of the final. Cue ball's flying round.
Oh, yes it did.
Nothing down.
We've had a few dry breaks this second round, haven't we?
Yes, yeah. It just seems to have deserted the players.
Yeah, just a little bit of tension. Nothing easy here.
No, it's definitely a lot of work to be done here for the world finalist.
Yeah, certainly the Reds.
Carl Sutton.
Reds, there's only 1 ball that needs to be extracted, whereas the yellows, there's a couple on the rail and 2 behind the red up the top left. But there's no easy starter on the Reds.
No. I was wondering if he's looking at that's a plant, but it's a little bit risky, the distance between the balls. So
it also looks well. It's certainly playing it, so it must be close. Must be close. As it turned on, it was out. It was dead on.
And the chance he's got, I think if he'd have finished a bit lower on this, could have taken the red into the middle and run up.
Get up the top.
He got an angle, the red into the left-hand corner, to run into that red and yellow, disturb it, and he's got the red on the other side that would go top right, almost like as an insurance
That was
ball.
the perfect way to go. But even if you had to take the other one first and come up a bit low and then left-hand side, pop the one in the right-hand corner and come back and knock it out and hope for a result. But right now, this angle on the... He may have to do what you said, but come back for these bottom two first.
Yeah, I think he's going to have to.
He's played...
I don't see that. I just wonder whether he's backing off here. Just
Well, that's
dulling
what
this
you
over
do.
the
You
pocket.
put over the hole, wouldn't you? If
Yeah.
you were playing, you'd put over... Sorry. I don't know. I'm certain I'd put this over the hole.
Yeah, he's just looked to dull it. He's potted it. He did not want to pot that. You can
The
see
look on
the
his
reaction.
face, yeah. Well, now he's got the shot that I suggested, but there is no backup if you don't get lucky with position. But you guys have had all the bloody luck. Why not have a go?
Well, yeah, England have had some run in this match.
I don't actually
So
believe
far.
that. I think that we've played a couple of bad shots, and I'm just kidding with the luck thing.
No,
He is having a go.
Yeah, there has been one or two bits of bad luck, and he's missed. I don't know.
I didn't mention it. The only thing I would have done there is covered the black. I would have put the ball right over the hole. Waited for a better time. But what's he do now? Not going to have a go again, is he?
I don't know. This is
Suicide.
a couple of years ago. I'd have said, yeah, Carl Sutton would probably have a go at this, but as I talked about on the commentary in his semi-final, I think he's a little bit more mature than that, and he's thinking a bit more about the game. But I don't think he's leaving himself much option here.
Well, he hasn't now. This is the point about this is you miss, you lose.
Yeah.
Really, unless you get very lucky and end up at the top side of it, you can snooker
So-
behind it.
They've had some luck,
It's a
and,
good
and
angle.
maybe that's what he's looking at here. The trouble is, he's got. Oh, he's gone in off. He's lost the cue balls. Oh, that was such a low percentage shot for me.
And the point about it is, even if he does hit it from behind, it needs all the luck in the world.
Yeah.
Right. And then the other guy's got 7 balls on the table to snooker you with. It's
Exactly.
That's suicide.
Exactly what Lee Kendall would tell you if he was sat here.
Yeah.
He would take the 7 balls over the one any
Oh,
day of
right.
the week.
Yeah.
You've got so much room to hide the cue ball behind, providing the ball, the one ball isn't over a pocket. You see, he looks on dejected. Carl Sutton, just wondering now if England
how many of those balls he
have
should have
played.
put over the hole.
Have England played their last shot in this World Team Final? Of course, they can't have played their last shot anyway because it's only 6-5. But Mark Robertson can put them in within one frame here.
I think this is the right way to go. I would have liked to have got that skinnier and got the other one out.
Yeah, I think
He's just making. He
wiped
could
his
have
feet.
opened up. Yeah,
He wiped his feet in the pocket, so he didn't quite get the right.
He
shot
could have
he was
opened
looking
up
for.
those balls up the other end, but he had these two bad ones on the cushion.
Yeah.
I think we'll see a couple of snookers before.
I think
this game's
this is about patience.
Yeah.
This is about patience. And
Australian team still looking pensive, but not quite as.
No, they know there's still a lot of pool to be played here.
Yeah.
The thing about it is, and Mark will know this, he cannot leave Carl an opportunity to get in behind that red
Correct.
if he does snookering.
Correct.
He's got to hide it as good, as well as he can.
Yeah. The thing. Yeah.
The thing is, I was going to say, if he moves that now, if he dollies on the red the yellow that's just below the left-hand middle pocket,
Covers the
he
across
dollies
the
onto
table.
that, he covers across the table
Yeah, it's a good shot.
with that yellow.
It's a good shot. Carl's yellow onto the red. Who knows? You can't quite see the angle. He's off 2 cushions behind it. Is he looking at that? It's a bit wide. That second yellow stops
Yeah.
the light, doesn't it? Yeah. Across the table with a heap of left-hand side.
It's just so difficult. You play that shot, you're having to play at a lot of pace, and that way you're not guaranteed of getting in behind it. He's looking to come off the 3 cushions that you.
He's not far off.
I tell you what, this could be a great shot. Oh,
You right there, mate?
I think it's a foul. We can't tell.
Oh no, it's a foul. He didn't hit it, did he?
Yeah.
Oh, you thought he might have
He
hit
got
it?
that close there. I just wondered if he just brushed it. The referee's right over it.
Yeah. I know. I thought he missed it by a long way.
Yeah, it certainly doesn't look like it's moved, so I'm pretty sure it's 2 visits here, Mark Robertson. But not left an easy white. So again, just needs to back off. But again, if
I
he
thought
leaves
his
Carl a
first
chance-
visit was very clever. He had 7 balls on the table. He ended up with only 6, but the 2 bad balls on the side cushion were both open. Right. So
I think he's looking at disturbing the ball here.
Yeah, I don't know that he can, but I think that's a good shot.
Yeah,
Okay. Now, you've got to play the open ball.
yeah,
Right, and back your ability to go.
exactly.
Yeah.
Back yourself.
Yeah.
5 balls on the black.
Correct.
1 frame away
Yeah.
from the team final. You're the captain. Lead by example.
That's it. And that's just a very good shot. Okay.
Yeah, it's all right. That.
Yeah, he nearly went too
could,
far.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
could.
I-
He judged another couple of inches.
Yeah,
and
I
that
might
would
have
have
called
been
that
really
I
awkward.
might have called that a fraction.
Yeah, like I say on this table, you just got to wait for the ball to stop completely, Mick.
That's what happened with with Ben Fleck in the first game.
Yeah.
Wasn't it? Just a white ball kept
Yeah,
on travelling forever.
Looked like a good shot, and
Yeah.
he just overhit it by a couple of feet. Finished on the ball and doesn't win the frame. Again,
Well, if he's on that one in
he's
the
just
middle,
dicing with his positional shot here.
he's not on it. So now you have to play the one closest to the right-hand pocket.
Yeah.
Come off 2 cushions. See, if it was one on the one in the middle, it'd be simple. Pop that, the other one in the middle, the one down the left-hand side, and
And that's the trouble. You don't want to be fighting with a finish.
correct.
You want to get it in your mind which way you're going to go and commit to it. And when it goes wrong, then all of a sudden your thinking's got to change. Again now.
Oh, excuse me while I sigh.
Yeah, I know, because he's going to have to take this really thin, I think, into the left-hand middle.
You know, it's funny.
The cue ball's flying around the table here, potentially. Oh, he's not made it. Oh, that is absolutely incredible. I mean, he's pointing, gesturing, but that is unbelievable. The pressure out there is just enormous. Carl Sutton levels the match up. It's now 6 frame alls. It's a best of 3 for a place in the World Team Final. I'd just like to say, viewers, that Mick Delahunty is sat here speechless for one of the first times in my life that I've known this gentleman. He cannot find the words. I think it was a bit like me after watching the England game with Iceland last night at the end. I was speechless. I could not believe how we played so badly. But back to the pool, and it's 6 frames all, and it's the England substitute or the extra man on this next frame, Dave Fernandez.
Whoa, excuse me. Yeah,
Right.
just these fast tables, and Mark just lost position a couple of times there.
Like I say, I think it's just, you get it in your mind the way you want to go.
Yeah.
And then when it's just not quite, it's not
That
right.
luck shot.
Yeah.
Even the next shot, when he didn't quite get on the balls in the middle, he played the one in the corner, but underhit it by a long, long way because he was scared because he'd gone too far the first 2 before. So, yeah, ordinary, but we understand. We've all been there. Well, the pressure's on these boys now.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at that, I mean, Dave Fernandez, runner-up in last year's World Masters. You've got Jack Popel, European champion and Masters champion. And you've got Ben Flack, European champion, Masters champion. On the other side, John Rusty Wheeler up against Dave Fernandez. He's a legend in the Australian game. Michael Skerry, last 2 times Australian champion.
And Adam Andreski, winner of multiple tournaments, the rock of South Australian pool, Australian side, number of times now. So, pressure.
Yeah.
This is what we're seeing.
And just out of interest, Mick, is it that Australia only ever bring 8? They never look to bring more than 8?
No, we only bring 8.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking that, you know, obviously you see some of the teams like England with 10, some of the other teams with 8, 9 and 10 players.
Look, the real problem, first and foremost, Sean, is there's only one substitute.
Yeah.
Once again, try break. Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
But again...
Well, you want to take reds, but black's half covered.
Yeah.
Want to take yellows? I think you might have to take yellows. You've got that one bad yellow, but the white's right
It's
next
got
to
the
you
one
now.
that's right near to the white. The other one that in the ball carrier in the middle, it's not easy by any means.
We're talking about Rusty, no? He's a freak. This guy does.
I've never called him a freak because I've always found him to be a fascinating guy.
He's a fascinating man,
Yeah.
that's for sure. A clever, intelligent man, but he pretends he's not.
Yeah.
He's always got a scam going of some sort. A good scam, don't
Yeah,
get me wrong.
yeah, he's not,
I love him to death. He's a great bloke. But he has some ability on the pool table.
Yeah, he's certainly one of the characters of the Australian team. I mean, they're not all the outgoing, you know, gregarious type, but certainly Rusty is that player. He's looked to play. I think he's gone for the pot now.
Yeah, I certainly think he played yellow off yellow.
Yeah.
And hit it fairly wide, actually, because he's hit the red first.
Yeah.
He's got a bit lucky the yellow didn't go in, I think, sure.
See there, James Delonte, Mark Robertson looking on.
Yes, I won't say that he looks like me 30 years ago, but I would have had my hand in my head back then, that's
Yeah.
for sure. Nerve-wracking experience playing for your country, that's for sure.
Nice shot there from Dave Fernandez. Gets a red near to the corner pocket and knocks the yellow safe.
Well, this may sound really old school, but I'd just be potting the red.
Yeah.
That's what I'd do. I'd just pot the red nearest to the right-hand corner pocket and put the pressure on him and say, okay, mate, away you go. Rusty would just get the yellow out. Well, you put the yellow onto the red. Sorry, the red onto the yellow, onto the black.
Well, I think Dave Fernandez takes the red up the rail now and pops the yellow.
Does what I would have done.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why I would have done it first before he could do it to me.
Yeah.
Puts all sorts of pressure on, doesn't it?
Yeah. I mean, Dave Fernandez is known for being a very attacking player.
Yeah.
But he's certainly got a good tactical brain as well.
Well, he got a little bit unlucky here.
I think he's just overhit that. He wanted to really drop it dead weight. I think Rusty can get this yellow back in there.
Well, he can get it in.
Well, he's attacked. I mean, he's got to pull off 2 or 3 almost outstanding shots here if he's going to take out a finish.
Point is, Sean, this is why you're here. Somebody has to do this.
Yeah.
You know,
I think it's one of them. Step up to the plate.
Yeah.
You know, somebody take
In
the ball
our
by
day,
the horns.
you know, to be Alec Evernatis for us or something like that, they'd just walk in and play some enormous frame.
Yeah.
And we'd win.
I mean, Alec, over the years, I've watched him play some fantastic pool.
Yeah.
Again, superb shot there from Rusty.
Bit unlucky not to move the red, actually.
Yeah. Yeah, because he's obviously played that with in mind to try and clear that pocket for the yellow that's near.
Then it would have made the out very easy. Pop the one near the pocket,
Middle
back up for the other one in the same hole, and he's just going to get this out.
I think he's moving the yellow out and he's
moving the black.
moving
maybe.
the red on the black.
He's played it.
Oh, that's a superb shot. Absolutely superb shot.
Just one good positional shot on the yellow up the rail there, mate, and it's on the hill for Australia.
Yeah, and all course from that, just a slightly loose tactical foul from Dave Fernandez. Just left the pocket.
Just land on the pink spot here, around about that area. Oh, he's gone up there. That's fair enough. That's a good shot.
He's okay
That's
there.
a good shot.
Oh no! What's he done there? He's nudged into the red. He doesn't need to do that.
He's not taken enough time, Sean. That's all that is.
I don't think he's the sort of player who takes his time. He just sort of
He's
like
just got to
gets
make certain
down.
you don't kiss the red, whatever you do.
Yeah.
That's
He just gets down and plays the shot that he sees. But like you say, he perhaps just needs to.
Make sure he's not kissing
He is
the
taking
red.
a bit of time now because
Is he going to cut this off the red? I'd like a closer angle again to have a look at it.
That's an unbelievable shot if he's looking at playing that.
I think that's all he's got, Sean. I just don't believe he's got anything else. Does it go over there in front of the black? So off the cushion over in front of the black is what he's playing. Left a hole. Excuse me while I sigh again.
Yeah.
I felt like we were...
Another one of those silent moments in the comms box here for Mick Delahunty. But
I had that
again,
one marked down, though.
Not an easy finish here for Dave Fernandez.
It's not bad.
No, it's an opportunity.
And he's got the kiss.
Tell you what, and I think he has, because the two reds he's put together almost certainly like they plant into that top right-hand corner pocket.
And if you're really nervous, you could just touch the bottom one and snooker. I mean, you're not going to in this case, but...
No, I think that's not... not quite sure about this.
Yeah, this is what I'd be playing.
Yeah? Wasn't sure whether he...
If the
just
ball's
seen
right
the
over
other
the
one.
hole.
Yeah, if he just... Well, I just thinking he sees the other one that's over the hole, take that one first. Just got to be careful. Both balls don't go in.
He didn't mind it, did he?
No.
If the Jackie was on. It's a beautiful ball to get down on the next one with, isn't it?
I'll tell you what, Dave Fernandez, he's obviously he will have loved this opportunity to get in the side. You know,
frame.
I mean, by his standards, I don't think he's had the best of weeks. Down near the bottom of the list for the England team. I mean, they've pretty much gone to form though. The two players have sat out at the bottom two in their averages is Gavin Lomax and Chris Day.
Couldn't snooker
I'll
himself
tell you what.
black,
What's he? Oh no! I'm thinking when that cue ball's coming down the table. Oh, he just flicks the black and snookers him. But as it is, you just can't take your eyes off this. You don't know what's going to happen next. But the 8 ball's down, and England now take a 7-6 lead in this race to 8. A little boogie there from Dave Fernandez. Wow, this is absolutely unbelievable stuff here in Blackpool. I really think if Australia don't win this match, they're going to have to take a long, hard look at themselves and say, yes, we had some bad luck, some run against us, but we had plenty of chances.
Oh, I don't believe that we've had any bad luck. Maybe a black lead.
No, I'm saying that England have had a little bit, so had some run at times.
I said we had a bit of bad luck when the kiss went wrong or something, but I felt they overhit it a couple of times as well. Yeah. But it's easy from here. We all muck up from here. Boys are trying their butts off. That's all I can say.
Exactly, yeah. I mean,
I'm not a great believer in luck, and I won't complain about it. So I just spew if we lose. That's all. They've had their chances, most certainly. Right? We've had. I think either team could sit back and say they could have won this easily by now. Yeah. There's been a lot of missed chances, and that happens in team finals because there's more pressure than people can handle.
So Australia national champion Michael Skerry breaks off frame 14. He must win this frame to keep Australia in these championships. Oh, that red looked like it was going in then, and the other reds come across and stopped it. But again,
has anybody put the ball in this?
I don't think in the second half they have.
First frame, Rob against James, had to knock the black out and got a bit unlucky.
Yes.
Right, that's the only time. And everybody else missed off the break.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I tell you what, this is not an easy
start
here for Jack Popel. I don't think he can even see anything. I tell you, I was out in the arena as well for his first match, his first frame, and pretty much every time there's a 30-second call, and he got to within about 57 seconds on one of his shots.
Maybe this red's poking out enough to be able to play the combination. Or he's playing the yellow onto it, off the cushion.
Well,
I got it right, but
He's missed that by a long way, but he's not done an awful lot of damage, I don't think.
Look, it depends on the red that's between the two near the left-hand centre pocket. If
Yeah.
it goes down the corner here, then Mick's half a chance.
Yeah, ref Michael the other evening, and in the singles, and really solid performance. Up to about 6-2, he didn't, nothing spectacular, he just played a solid game of pool. And then all of a sudden at 6-2, he just seemed to get a little bit gung-ho. And he went for a couple of finishes that weren't really there, which he hadn't done. And but he steadied himself, and he came through against Josh Kane, 8-5. Really good performance. Josh Kane, the top of his game at the moment. He's been right up there, under 23, world semi-finalist, European champions. Yeah, Adam looking on there.
Having a little bit of a yawn. It would be a nervous yawn, I think.
Yeah.
So, yeah, well, it was obviously a good win from Mick then.
Yeah, no, it was a good performance. I'd say it was solid.
Yeah, it is how he plays. He can be absolutely brilliant, but he's more likely just to work hard. This is an interesting choice.
Yeah, I think he probably just feels that it's gone in.
See, that doesn't go in during the week.
No.
Right, okay. That jaws and sits there.
I think he's played that thinking that, well, you just drop it over the pocket, and I'm not leaving Jack Popel anything with certainly the one yellow up in the ball carrier left on one of the two.
Well, Mick's, this is an opportunity now. Black's out in the open.
I don't think, I think it's one of these, I've not got any choice now.
Yeah.
I have to go.
I think he's on this red here down the bottom. He's got to play it and go around the table. Just a little bit of side and round off two cushions.
It's just, whether he's tried to pinch a lot of the pocket there or not, I don't know, but...
Goodness me. There's shots being missed in this match that are... yeah.
Well, it's just purely down to the pressure.
It's team pressure. I've seen it happen.
And I tell you,
the
other thing that's just starting to I'm thinking about here now, that obviously we're getting on late into the evening, the semi-final, and the pressure and everything that these guys have been under, what effect that's going to have. Ireland, they won their semi-final quite some hours ago.
Yeah.
They're going to be back in the hotel. They're going to have been rested up.
Yeah.
These guys are going to get to bed fairly late, and they're back on at 11 o'clock in the morning in the final.
They've had all day to think about it. That's the other thing, Sean. It may sound really, they're grown men, they should be able to handle it. They've had 9 o'clock at night when you have got no other matches to play all day. Right? You're just sitting there thinking about your opportunity to win a world title, and that can just create tension on its own.
She gave Rob Warren and Gavin Lomax a little bit of a distraction yesterday. They helped us shift some of the tables out from the main arena in order for the TV arena to be fitted overnight. So we just kept them occupied for an hour, loading the Supreme wagon that had come to collect some of the Supreme tables that we play these championships on.
So is this red in just above the brown spot? Do you think if it goes in the right-hand corner... Just gone a little bit far, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's been a little bit unlucky here.
Well, he's gone too far. It's it's just ordinary position rather than unlucky, I think. But if it goes and he can get out here,
I'm just looking. He's looking to play that one, but I think he's also looking where he's going to leave the cue ball. That he doesn't want to leave Jack Popel a shot on that bad yellow he's got, and maybe squeeze it.
Just quite on, hasn't it? Always looked like it wasn't quite on.
I mean, he's okay because he's covered that other yellow now.
I think that's pretty good. These two yellows on the left of the black, you get one of those up inside that red up the top. Changes the whole game around a little bit. Really don't want to be potting too many balls at the moment, do you? Unless you pot the inside one of these. Just run the white in and out a little bit and play the yellow up the top over the hole. Potting balls. Put this one over the hole. From an Australian point of view, I can't say I'm unhappy about that. I like to see balls over the holes gone. He's playing the shot I suggested. Bounce. Sorry.
No, it's
A little bit of bias coming in there, mate. Now, can he play it soft enough just to hold for the ball onto the ball?
yeah.
That's what he's looking at. Very hard to play it and then get back on the other one to hold for the one that's in the middle of the table there.
See Jack Popel there. He doesn't look too concerned.
Well, it's a good shot he played. He just overhit it the fraction, didn't he? Which we've seen a lot of in this match, of course. Hitting the yellow.
I think he's tried to.
Oh, I think he has.
He hasn't
He's
made it,
played
has he?
No, he's played it terribly. Sorry. Hasn't played it as well as he would have liked.
No.
Goodness.
Is that the same as terribly in
No,
Australia?
he didn't play it terribly. He tried to
Do I
not.
need to translate?
I
No,
don't-
he wasn't. He's tried something and it hasn't come.
Last thing I want to be is negative to one of these great players who are
No.
just trying their butt off for their country, mate.
This
I'm
is-
proud of everyone.
Yeah, I mean this.
So any negative things that come out of my mouth, I apologise for because I don't mean them in any way, shape or form. These guys are geniuses.
It's just the sheer pressure.
Yeah. So is he putting this over the hole or is he got enough to kiss the yellow? Put it over the hole. Realistically, not much else he could do, I think.
No.
Goodness me, I'm having kittens here, Sean. I can only imagine how Adam Andreski's feeling right at this moment.
Well,
And Ben Flack mightn't be much better.
to be fair, I don't know about Ben Flack, but I'm sure Adam is just hoping he gets a chance to go out
Oh,
there
I'm
because if
sure
he
he is.
doesn't,
Yeah.
Australia are not quite on the plane home, but they're out of the tournament. Jack's Popel's played a nice shot there. He's just tried to, make the black awkward.
Don't know if he could have played it better, could he? He's left the black on in one hole only. Right hand middle.
Yeah, it goes. Don't get me wrong, but
Yeah, but
I
I'm
think
saying
yeah,
that's how good a shot it was.
Yeah.
He's left it open
Yeah.
in one hole only. It's fantastic shot. If Michael's got that pocket totally covered, he's just about double this back onto the black.
he's double kissed. He didn't want that. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay.
I
It's
don't
not.
mind it. Having another ball down this end.
Yeah, I think that's what he was trying to do. He was trying
Yeah.
to get the red down here.
Yeah. Just as long as there's not a hole under that red. For that yellow that he's closest. Yeah. Maybe a hole.
Jack Popel's looked a good. He hasn't.
Not go in red. Sorry.
No, mate. No.
No, I
no
knew,
chance on
I
this
knew it
planet.
wasn't happening, but I
But
thought
I
I'd
was,
give you.
I was more concerned that
I thought I'd give you a
it's
fright.
finished. Yeah, it's finished the wrong side though, the red.
Yeah, no go in red. Would have
And,
been
and
nice.
has it just nudged the red towards it and closed the
I certainly
pocket
hope
off,
so.
which I think it might have done. Oof. Well, I tell you what, if that goes in, I think Michael had been in a bit of trouble.
Well, if it goes in, you play the yellow and put the black up on the top because
Yeah, you do, but-
But I don't disagree with you. Yeah, would have been a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
I think he probably is as anyway. I don't particularly like where that bloody yellow is near the black. Sorry, I'm starting to Feel it a little bit.
Yeah, I think you're not the only Australian in this building that's feeling the pressure.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of Englishmen as well.
Any chance he should play the shot now anyway?
Yeah. Oh, he's looking.
Might be hitting this red just up the top pocket.
Yeah.
The intentional foul's so scary because all these 4 balls are all then on and pretty easily. Gets 2 shots to knock those 2 out. I'd like to see how close that yellow is to the red up the top. It looks like it comes out easily enough. We're certainly getting our money's worth, Sean.
Yeah, it's certainly gripping stuff here. The Imperial Hotel in Blackpool. Getting late into the evening now. It's best of 15 semi-final. No, again, I just think he's just making that black awkward. I think he's all right. Like I say, he's blocked the one pocket that the black would go in. I think Australians were getting a little bit excited in the crowd, but maybe that's just general encouragement because I can't see that he's.
You know, we like the yellow screen. That black still goes just in that one pocket, but you want to be picking gaps.
Oh, yeah.
I can get there in my dreams.
I think Michael's got to be a little bit careful here now because he's put that red up there.
I think he's got to be very careful. I wouldn't mind getting the black up there as well. I still don't like it much.
Containing safety there from Jack Popel.
Be nice to see if that yellow goes inside the red. Because if it doesn't, I'd be coming off the back cushion, hitting that yellow and knocking the black right up there.
Well, we saw early on it did, but that was before
he
Jack
played
had
that
double
shot.
the yellow across.
Yeah.
And whether it just brushed the red and closed the pocket off a little bit.
But coming off the bottom cushion here and knocking the yellow onto the black and knocking it up there, if that yellow's not on, because they don't come out as easily as they did before now.
I'm wondering if I think he's looking at playing the red, flicking onto the, you see there. It doesn't look tight in there, but whether it actually goes, either whether Michael's looking at playing the red thin onto the yellow and sort of like cutting the yellow back towards the pocket.
Knocking it back where it was.
Oh no, he's played it the other way. Quite sure why he's.
Telling them it's touching the
Well,
red.
it's touching ball because it's not touching the ball that's on.
Correct. It just doesn't.
So there's
just doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
He's going to play away from it anyway.
He's not allowed to move that ball, whatever.
Yeah. I think Jack Popel was just trying to get that a little bit further down. He's not quite got the snooker.
I still think we're in a load of hurt. Maybe he can go game. Got to get on that black, don't you? You can't go game. It's ridiculous.
He can't.
Yeah. I'm just dreaming again.
No, that's fine. It's always one of those you're thinking out loud sort of things.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, correct.
I think this is probably one of the tensest matches that I've ever commentated on at these championships.
I've played
You know.
a few of these, Sean.
Yeah, but
See, that's a great shot as far as I'm concerned. That's a great shot. Open the black up. Now pressure exists again. There was no pressure at all while he had that black tied up.
Jack Pope just returned the compliment there, just tried to put yellow back on the black.
Excuse me.
I imagine there'll be a few people in Australia now just getting out of bed. It's probably about, I don't know, 7 o'clock maybe in some areas. Getting
What's the
after
time
that.
here? We started at 9, so it was 5:30 in Adelaide, where I'm from. I know my wife was getting up to watch it.
Yeah.
I'm sure James's wife was getting up to watch it.
So it was going to be a lot of.
It's 7 or 8 o'clock. 7. What's the time?
It's it'd be around about 8 o'clock, I would think, over there now. I know I've got
8
family in
o'clock the
Brisbane.
morning. Yep. Well, they're half an hour ahead of us in Adelaide.
Oh, what's he done here? What's he done here? Oh, he's just stopped. Oh.
Well, he was on the red. He would have just pumped it in, knocked the
He
black
smashes it off the
followed through,
lampshade.
knocked the black in the same hole, mate. No
Doubles the
pressure.
black off the side rail, top right hand corner pocket. 7-all. Come on, Adam.
That's exactly what was happening then. mate.
I tell you what, he's played a good shot there.
I think he can hit it. He can hit it either,
Yeah.
of them, but he doesn't want to hit that. Now this is the madman in the world. Says, "Pop this red, get up on the other one, and go game." But
Nah, oh, he can see it. He can see it by a long way.
this right over the hole is a very good shot. Right over the hole.
He's having a look at
Don't
the
even
angle.
think about
He's having a look at the angle. He's pointing off that side rail. Can he? Maybe he can pot the red cleanly.
Well, if he could, then maybe you've just got to half ball it and come down to the middle of the table, and you're on the black in the corner.
Oh no, he hasn't.
Strange shot. I don't understand.
Yeah, he just keeps moving that red from one end of the table to the other.
I don't understand why you don't put it right over that hole. Right? Yeah, it's okay. He's got a plan, obviously. You can understand what Jack's plan is to get that black as safe as possible. Every shot he plays is... Just gone.
Just hitting it, I think,
it's
this
a,
time.
It's a total snooker, but
But
probably not that hard to get out of. He'll probably surprise us here, come off the top cushion, knock the red back down over here.
so he's looking at just playing the black again, is he? Freeing it up.
Playing it up there.
Yeah, he's playing up there, yeah. And this is something you said, oh, I don't know, maybe 10, 15 minutes ago almost, Mick, about getting the black up there. I don't know.
Maybe got it far enough.
Do you know what? I'm not sure. I'm not sure because...
Well, you'd assume Jack's going to have 2 shots on that ball. Correct?
Come?
You'd assume Jack's going to have 2 shots on the ball that's covered by the red.
Yeah, yeah, but if he kicks that out,
That's what I'm saying, is he got the black far enough?
I don't think... It's tough because it's one of them, we've already seen a lot of balls missed into middle pockets and it's a tight cut. He'd have to be getting perfect position straight behind it.
And has to get lucky off the kick
Yeah.
when he gets the bad ball out. But maybe he'll get the bad ball out before he pots all these, which is what he should be.
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
That's not a great shot. If you come out in the middle of the table, then he comes off the top cushion, gets the yellow out, while all these balls that you get. The last thing you want to be doing is putting too many of these balls before.
Oh, yeah.
It's what we said in that frame earlier.
I think he's probably got the angle here now.
To get back up
take
there.
Take the yellow into the bottom right
Yeah.
and go up the table.
Yeah, I would have wanted to do it the first possible shot. Play the yellow under the yellow. No, he's playing this. Well, here we go. Probably the shot that Certainly decides this frame anyway. Don't mind him getting it out, just so he doesn't fluke it somewhere.
Well, the way this match has gone tonight, you would not bank on against anything.
Anything, yeah, anything.
I mean, he's just showing you there.
He's just trying to pot it in the centre. He's having a look at trying to pot it in the middle. Get a bit too much bottom on it, and the white ball goes in there as well. Just like that.
He gets the kiss on it. Oh,
It's bad kiss.
that's unlucky. That is desperately unlucky for Jack Popel.
Depends whose side you're on. Sorry, you're on Jack's side.
No, I'm.
No, I understand. It's not the best result. He got the double kiss straight away, didn't he?
Yeah.
So he didn't quite play it with the conviction he probably should have.
I think he wanted to, I personally think he needed to be not straighter,
That's
further
why
across
I-
the table.
that's why I
He comes
thought-
off the bottom rail more and flicks out into the middle of the table. He'd sort of come across the table there.
That's why I thought the first ball he potted when he got the two shots, he should have gone into the side cushion and come back out a bit more. Not have to play the one in the corner and go up. And he would just on the blue spot and he would have had the angle to knock it out straight away. Well, I think Mick would be pretty happy with this.
This has got to be some sort of insane finish now here from Jack Popel. He's certainly got the class. Like you say, he's been the European champion. He's been the World Masters champion.
Oh, he's played beautifully here too. Every time I've looked up, he's just been in a nice, well finished frame sort of thing. He just seems to do everything with not too much flair. Just does it easily. But this is not easy. You pot this and just come out for the next one in the same pocket. Sorry, in the corner. Got a good angle.
I mean, all you can say is he's going to try and draw this back, take the yellow into the right middle and the black into the left middle.
I don't think you can get above it without going in behind it, if you understand what I mean. Right-hand side, go into the cushion and back around behind the yellow. It's not an easy one to get just straight above it, but it's certainly possible. Needs to bot the ball first and foremost, and that's what we have been shocked about a few times, isn't it? Guys missing these pots that they just don't normally miss. He's taken a bit more care than some have taken.
Yeah, he's got down once there and he's sort of decided to. That's superb.
Oh, they couldn't play it better.
No,
Couldn't play it better.
but the trouble there is he's got a little bit of angle.
I think it's perfect, isn't it? Just a stun across, hold the white to the same position on the other side for the black in the middle.
Yeah.
He's looking to come over to the cushion and put the black inside the top red on the right.
Again, we've seen these pots missed into the middle pocket
Yeah.
so many times, not just in this match, but today.
I think I'd go top side of it, Sean. You'd have middle or bottom pocket as well, if you go a little bit too far. If you go bottom side, you've only got the one pocket to be playing for.
So, cut or double, Mick?
Well, I cut them. That's how I play them. My son would probably... No, he'd cut it if the cut was on, but he's a very, very good double. He's looking at the double.
So, yeah, because if you try and cut it, it's so fine. You haven't hit the cue ball so hard.
Looks like he's playing the double. Like I said, I think I'd play the cut, but that's just individual selection in this shot.
So
These guys are such good
yeah.
doublers.
This 8-ball, Jack Popel for a place in the World Team Final. Oh, he's missed it. Has he fluked it?
No, he hasn't.
Oh.
Come on, Michael
So,
Scarry.
Chance Australia. Michael Scarry, make a name for yourself. For Australia, level this match up.
Told you he should have cut it. Glad he didn't.
The double was the shot.
Oh, you'd like to be between the centre ball and the centre pocket, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Hard up on the cushion. It's not bad.
That's fine, that is. So once again, down goes the black, and we have a final frame decider, sudden death for a place in the World Team Final.
Adam Andreski, make a name for yourself.
Let's just take a moment to reflect on that now. Oh, we've seen some words of encouragement there from Michael Skerry for Adam. It's going to be Ben Flack from England. He'll break off. Well.
Oh, this has been fantastic, hasn't it?
Yeah.
What a drama.
It has.
Yes,
The drama is,
yeah.
is unbelievable.
Yeah.
Yeah, the game's not all crash bang wallop, and over in 30 seconds, like we saw Sean Chipperfield this afternoon in his semi-final. This is team pool at its finest. Like I say, there's drama, there's excitement, there's missed shots, missed opportunities. There's the handshake. Sasha hands over the cue ball. Ben Flack to break off the 15th and deciding frame. This World Team semi-final.
Here's that break again. Oh, he's got one.
Yeah, so his first order of business, he's made the ball.
Well, it must be yellows, mustn't it? Red goes inside this yellow. He's going reds. So, 5 reds left. Nothing easy here. Red inside the yellow now.
Yeah, I'm a little bit surprised he's taken the reds with that little cluster of yellows over the bottom.
Yeah,
I was just saying to say, I think the red, though, goes past it, and that's the shot he's going to play now.
that's the shot he's playing now. But still, the yellow, the one next to the black, he had up the top right, and then it just was easy from there. But reds don't look that hard.
And that's a good shot, because what he didn't want to do is disturb that yellow too far out.
Obviously, the red near the blue spot, near the centre of the table, goes in the middle. He'll just play the red he's closest to now into the corner, hold the white into the cushion and back out for the one near the rail. Pot that and float up towards the middle of the table for the other two in the middle. But one mistake and those yellows look pretty good.
I think Adam Andreski is just praying
He's
for a
got
chance.
He's played a beautiful
There.
shot. That's a very, very good shot. All right, Adam has sat on the sidelines all night, and
Yeah.
worst case scenario is he doesn't get a visit.
But we saw Ben Flack in his first frame. Look, for all the world, he was home and dry. One ball on the black and couldn't take the finish. So, not going to tempt any fate whatsoever here. We're just going to let whatever happens pan out.
He's going to pop this red in the middle and screw back. Just has to make certain he just half hits it rather than fully hits it.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to snooker himself behind the yellow
I
one.
think he might have wanted to go a couple of more inches there.
Yeah.
Just leave this as just a fraction straighter.
It's Not difficult if you're down the pub, but it's 7-all in
No.
in a world team
yeah.
semi-final.
Yeah, I mean, we'll have knocked these balls in so many times in practice like this.
And then it's just a roll in on the last one to put the black in the same pocket. All three of these balls are going in the same pocket.
I wonder if he's going to screw back a little bit and use that yellow. Oh, he's not had to. Oh, has he gone too far?
I don't think so. I think he's on it.
Yeah, but
Well, that's what I was talking about. If you screwed too much, you snookered yourself.
yeah,
on
just
that yellow.
yeah.
He's obviously on it the way it's looking. Is he kissing the yellow with the white? He's looking at a very fine cut on the black over the top right, if that's the case.
Look at how has he left that?
Well, you see, the white was still turning. He was swerving.
Yeah.
So he
yeah.
actually had to swerve around the yellow to pop that. Well, it looks.
Well, we've had drama, we've had excitement, we've had missed pots,
This is
we've
very
had
fine.
flukes, and this, it's all down to Ben Flack here on one shot to put England into the World Team Final. The whole of the Australian pool nation is hoping that Adam Andretzky gets a chance here. Oh, yeah, the shout from
And
the
the white
England
ball.
supporters. Oh, it's lost the cue ball as well.
Go in, you black
Oh
bugger.
my God.
How did black not go in?
Well, like I say, it's drama, it's excitement. It's
you-
not over.
Can you imagine if that black had gone in, that white
Oh.
ball dribbled to the hole like that?
Oh, incredible.
That's
Absolutely
unbelievable.
incredible.
That's poor old Adam hasn't played.
No,
Didn't play in the semi-final.
doesn't look like he's going to get a shot.
Now he's got 2 to win the
Now,
match.
2 visits and the table at his mercy.
I will say, I understand the pressure, but this boy has always just been good under the pump.
Yeah.
Just been really good under the pump. But I don't know if he's ever been under this sort of pump before.
He can't have been. He's never played the deciding frame in the World Team semi-final. He's probably played national finals. He's played in
Yeah.
maybe the last frame of them, you know.
Ball over the hole,
State
come back
finals,
2
whatever.
inches. Come back 2 inches for the one over the
Yeah,
other side.
that's it. Just clear these 3 here.
Yeah. It's a great, very good shot.
Perfect shot there.
Oh, goodness me. I can't say I'm upset if he does go game. He's a really, really nice lad. Gives me a hard time all the time, but he's couldn't happen to a better bloke. Get in there.
Yeah, it's a good shot.
Come on.
Again, no, he's got a little bit of work to do. It looks easy. It
Best
looks
way to-
easy. It's 2 visits. It looks easy.
Play this with a little bit of the one near the pocket here, right? A little bit of side and come up between them into the middle of the. He's playing this up the top.
Yeah, I think that's a shot.
Well, if he pots it,
Because
it just
it's
makes
just
life
dead,
easy.
just dead straight.
Yeah.
You know, he's got to do nothing with the cue ball.
Yeah.
Just hold it where it is. It's wobbled. He's wiped his feet. It's in. The Australians held their breath.
Oh, if it jaws, it goes over near the black.
Yeah.
Right.
But I still think that was the shot.
Well, I don't disagree. I might have just been a little bit gutless and played this one.
I think he probably played it a little bit too firmly because he spun back a little too far. I think he just almost play it dead weight, if you like, and he leaves himself straight on this one into the middle.
Yeah, but he's over now. It's finished. How's that? There's a prediction.
No, I think there's some life in this frame yet.
Oh, yeah, you're hoping.
No, I'm not. I just think from what we've seen tonight and all the drama and everything that's gone on, it is not over yet.
I think Australia are in the final, mate. How do you know those things?
It's just sheer pressure. It's sheer pressure, this is. I mean,
A little
again,
bit more conviction,
it's
please.
just,
Yeah, it looked
you
like
know,
sitting for half a second, didn't it?
just for a second there, fraction of a second, it looks like it's staying up.
Yeah.
So, 2 balls. Adam Andretsky. Superb shot that is. You see the tap of the table. He knows this 8 ball. Top right hand corner pocket. Steadies himself. Composes himself. Down it goes, and Australia are in the World Team semi-final. Superb performance. We've had the drama, we've had the excitement of World Team Pool. And you see the reaction. The Australians absolutely loving this. They've made the final. And it'll be them that will be facing Ireland at 11 o'clock tomorrow morning. You see handshakes all round. You know they've been in a tough match tonight. But they will be the ones, say, contesting the World Team final tomorrow morning. And good luck to those Australians. And let's hope for a great final between 2 great pool nations.
Oh, it's a fantastic match. What a great match.
Yeah, superb performance, you see. Still the celebrations go on. And like I say, they're going to be looking forward to that final in just a few hours' time. So that's all we have time for this evening now from Blackpool. As I say, join us again, 11 o'clock in the morning. World Team Final, Ireland versus Australia.
Thanks, Sean.